Welcome, every single person in the world. It is BentleyDeuce. And, welcome. I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We do a lot of things here. Gaming, commentary, music reacts, and so much more. There's also links down in the links area description tab down below. So check it out. We are going right into it. We're just gonna go and watch Ethan and Hasan, which we've had friends of the show, you know. And you know, just see what they have to say about each other, because they've been at each other's throats for like ever, and I'm interested. I am very interested in this. Some spicy content's coming up right here, guys. Yeah. Go start from the beginning. Can I start from the beginning? Okay. All right, let's get right into it, guys.
You want to see?
Yep, Mbop.
I have Bimbop.
E-commerce platform out there. Why is it the best $1 a month? Is that okay?
Oh my God.
So
Yeah.
cute. He's so sweet.
Yeah, I said
Yep. Very hard.
Before we get started, can I lay some like ground rules so we can have like a productive conversation?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to come on to make this as issue specific as possible, but yes, you have grievances with me.
Is this
of
live
course,
chat?
I think they're valid to address.
Okay, good.
Of course, we'll talk about that. Hopefully, I'll be able to address some counterpoints as well, if you will allow me in the process.
Absolutely.
But before we get started on anything, I would like to potentially talk about definitions, so we can have like an established definition on a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about.
Go check them out.
Is
This
that
is
okay
where
with
you
you?
can find it.
I mean, it depends how many definitions you got. What do you want?
I don't support either side on these
I don't
guys.
wanna get
I
bogged
just
down
think
in
it's
this, so
hilarious.
I'm also
I'm just
exceeding
drama
all yours, if you don't
farming.
mind, so
Oh.
hold on
Go
one
ahead.
second.
No worries. No worries.
Okay. All right. So you're fine with that?
I mean, I'll do up to a point. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like.
I don't want to get
it's
bogged
basic
down in a
stuff.
conversation.
It's not like a gotcha.
Go ahead. Start.
I'm not-
Start. No, I know you're not. I
Okay,
just want to get going.
All right. So first and foremost, I think we should define what Zionism is and what you mean by Zionism and what I mean by Zionism.
Zionism is the belief that Jews should have their own homeland in the historic Palestine area. That's it.
Okay. All right. So I believe that Zionism is a religious ethno-supremacist ideology that revolves around the exterminationist policies of removing the indigenous population that lived in, as you said, historic Palestine, as long as they are not Jews, because it's a religious, ethno-religious supremacist ideology. I think that this is a disagreement that you and I have.
No, I agree with
on this
you.
front.
I agree with you. If you want to add that, like the genesis of Zionism included, the displaced.
All right, so the definition of Zionism is actually just this. So we'll just look it up, because I don't know why they just don't look it up and just go based off the actual definition. They're defining it themselves, which is weird. It's a movement for, originally, the reestablishment and now the development and protection of a Jewish nation in what is now Israel. It was established as a political organization in 1897 under Theodor Herzl, and was later led by Chairman Weizmann. Origin: late 19th century, from Zion and ism, apparently after German Zionismus. Alright, I'll close this. The dog's being a loud mouth. Okay. In Wikipedia, look, it says right here, which, how reliable Wikipedia can or cannot be, but it's an ethno-cultural nationalist movement that emerged in Europe in the late 19th century that aimed to establish a national home for Jewish people pursued through the colonization of Palestine, a region roughly corresponding to the land of Israel and Judaism, with central importance to Jewish history. That's so. There you go. You have that.
And the ravaging of the culture that existed there, then I would agree with you. I mean, I don't think that the establishment of Israel was like a good thing. I mean, it was tragic and a lot of bad things happened. But let me ask you, sir.
Okay.
How was filming that content? I just have to know what you felt, what you were thinking as they were doing the Fortnite L behind you.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
No. We're here. I don't want to talk about definitions. You got your Zionism, and let's do the.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it was fine.
Did you not? You didn't.
I've participated in other YouTube videos as well in the past.
No, but that Fortnite L dancing.
Some of them feature sketches.
I noticed you weren't in the other shots. Why was that?
I think I was being interviewed.
Oh, really?
By
Who was
the
interviewing
journalist while that was happening.
Really?
I don't remember.
Really? Oh, that's convenient. I think you were embarrassed, frankly. You were absent from every other shot. I think you saw him doing that. I think you saw him doing that Fortnite dance, and you said,
I don't know what the point of this is. They're just they're just talking about the content nuke, which is
Ethan,
this is
a comedian.
Whatever.
You participated in some sketches.
Either one.
It's
nothing that.
It was pretty cringe though. I'm not gonna lie. That whole intro is fucking weird. Double introed up and stuff. I don't understand that.
Yeah, we've done funny things.
Okay, you know what? Let's not debate the merit of our comedy. You're right. I'm very hacky, and so are you. By the way, you believe that the likes were botted on that?
What?
You had said you thought the likes were botted on the content cop. Do you still believe that?
What? The likes were botted on the content cop?
The dislikes were botted. The dislikes, sorry. Yeah, you said it was brigaded and was botted. And it was unnatural, the dislikes on the video.
I don't really care about this. I don't know. I mean, I don't recall saying this, but I don't know why this is a major point of contention. All right, so you asked that question. Let's get back to some other definitions.
Hold on, let me finish, and then you can do your definition.
Go get some more definitions.
Okay.
Do you think it was?
Well, it's not my definition. I want to hear your definition.
That's fine. I'll answer how you like.
I hope you know that, like, I don't know if you know this, but I didn't publish the content cop. iDubbbz did.
I think he did read a definition
him thoroughly.
All right,
do you know that
from Wikipedia?
Do you believe he should have included the context of the CPS call?
Maybe he did. I don't know.
What? You don't know what I'm talking about?
Wait. I'm a little confused. You are asking me what my opinion is on
the video.
iDubbbz's content cop.
Correct. That's correct.
About the CPS? I don't know. Maybe. Sure. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I think it was more so about like your
So Ethan was what do you call it? Yeah, because Ian iDubbbz didn't mention any of that CPS stuff in his content cop. He basically just skirted around it on each topic. Even the videos that were about to mention some of the context for that were being missed out by iDubbbz in his content cop video. Because Ethan has it in his content nuke, and he used some of those clips and from wherever else he was getting his stuff, but it would have been there if you just went back just a little bit more, and you would have seen the actual context for what was in the video.
For year-long conquest of deplatforming and also
right. Well, 90% of the clips were from the episode entitled "CPS Came to My House." Hasan, I don't know if you think that's an important detail. I sure do.
Ethan, I think you know my position on this, as I've made it very clear. I think it's completely inappropriate.
And the reason like the CPS stuff happened is, if you don't know this already, it's because, well, I don't remember the guy's name, right? But the guy said some shit saying something like, oh, this guy's kids are walking around the floor and shit, and the dogs are shitting all over the floor, and the kids are eating the shit because the baby, I guess, got Gardia. Got Gardia.
Nobody got it.
Nobody got it?
No, just a dog.
Oh, well, whatever. See, but like, either way, like babies are, Gardia is a pretty common thing to get because, well, babies are on the floor a lot. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Like, just, it's treatable. It's super easy to treat. It's not like it's gonna instantly kill you. It's not like we live in a third world country where, you know what I mean? But that kind of signaling was, made his chat go around and basically started harassing by calling CPS on his family. And then what's her face? Denims, I think is her name. Her chat was fucking, also involved in listening in on that, and it just spread like a wildfire. And then people just started thinking that he was a horrible person and this and that. And Ethan's not. He's just annoying, I would say. Both of them are like Hasan, definitely horrible, stupid. I completely dislike this guy. This guy right here, completely dislike him. Don't. You know what I mean? He thinks of himself as an intellect, but he's probably as smart as my fucking last fart. You know what I mean? I just don't see anything. Like, he doesn't say anything good, nothing smart comes out of him. He says, like, intelligent words and shit. You know what I mean? But, like, it's not, it doesn't have meaning to it. And most of the time, he's insightful. I think he's a terrorist, honestly. That's my personal ideal of him because of what he says and does. You know what I mean? He is a very odd person. He definitely doesn't like America, so fuck him. And Ethan, I used to be a fan of him, but he just went for the podcast, and it is what it is. I guess he grew out of his content, and I still subscribe and I still watch his podcast sometimes, mostly recently, just because this has been interesting stuff. It makes me laugh. So yeah.
Appropriate to fucking call.
No.
I forgot my point.
That's obvious.
Oh yeah, I already
your
told
friend Hasan you made a video with did a total fucking hit job. All right, go ahead. Ask me a question.
I don't have any like.
Go ahead.
Listen to me. Listen, we're both content creators online. We both have received an endless wave of harassment. You and I have talked privately about this.
Hasan, I don't.
Merited, maybe. In your case, because you're an asshole. But you also cause harassment to other people. Both of you guys do, actually. I know that. You guys say some funky shit sometimes, and yeah. You guys are both insightful when it comes to that type of stuff. You guys, I don't think either one of you technically deserves it, but like in Hasan's case, I would say you're more of an incendiary person that causes that to happen to you. You know what I mean?
Let's just go on.
What do you mean? You brought this up. You brought it up. Hold on.
I know what you're saying. We both
still not saying he deserves it.
The internet is tough. Whatever, yada yada. Ask me a question.
No. Please, Ethan, please.
Because you're so boring, bro. I just want to have an interesting conversation.
Who else also told me that? Andrew Tate. Please, just hold on.
Wow, God forbid.
Explain my position to you. You and I are both content creators. We get an endless wave of harassment, doxing, swatting, all of this stuff. Okay. Sometimes by the same people, ironically enough, by the same communities. You and I know we've had these conversations in private before we stop doing our podcast. And my position on this. I think it's completely unacceptable.
I know you're against
I am
CPS.
victim to the same exact things that happened to you in this regard. I would never in a million years
ask me a question.
Sort of thing, and don't think it's appropriate.
Very good.
And I don't know why you think that I have anything to do with this.
Because you're misrepresenting what I asked you. I didn't ask you, do you think it's okay that people called CPS? I asked that the video that you participated in, which was a total fucking hit job that used 90% of its clip from an episode of the podcast called CPS Got Called on Me and didn't even include the title of the podcast. Now, do you think that's fair?
I think you should
that's
take this up
valid
with iDubbbz instead of me.
Okay, sure. Ask me a question.
So this is my issue with him avoiding it. He was part of the video. Meaning you signed off. You signed off, and he also speaks sometimes on behalf of the video in the sense. You know what I mean? It's like him. Oh, but bro, hold on. I gotta go fucking back for that one.
Take this up with iDubbbz.
The title of the podcast. Now, do you think that's fair?
I think you should take this up with iDubbbz instead of me.
Okay, sure. Ask me a question.
Yeah, I didn't make any of the editorial decisions in iDubbbz's content cop.
I'm asking what you thought about it. Okay.
Okay, good point. But like yeah, exactly.
Pretty obvious. Go ahead, ask me a question.
I'm sure it would have been. I'm sure that I'm sure that it would have been all right if he mentioned it.
It would have been all right.
I don't know why this is a major point of contention for you. I thought we were going to talk about Israel-Palestine.
We're talking about whatever we want to talk about. You had said that I have problems with your character. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead, ask me a question.
But you having problems with my character.
Hasan, ask me a question, or I'm going to move on to the next topic.
From you asking me about iDubbbz's editorial decisions. in his content, Cop.
I'm asking about your opinion on it. Go ahead, ask me a question.
Okay. So, do you believe that Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Awesome. So you agree with the with numerous human rights organizations, the UN?
I already said yes.
Okay, great. No, that's important. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I also agree on this. If you believe that Israel,
I don't know too much about the situation. I just know both sides are doing fucked shit, and it's fucked up all the way. You know what I mean? But definitely, we shouldn't be supporting like Israel financially, just like we shouldn't be supporting Ukraine financially like that. You know what I mean? I'm in the side of, keeping our money. You know what I mean? Like, we're not a rich nation. We're in massive debt. Doesn't matter if all the other nations are in debt too. We are in debt, and we should get out of that and make other countries follow suit. So there is no actual world debt like that. You know what I mean? The debt that's there is just minimal and can be actually paid off instead of like being this massive, almost imaginary number. You know what I mean? No, I don't believe we should be supporting any of that, but definitely Israel doing strikes. We've done strikes, which is crazy. We're not supposed to be doing that shit, but look at what we did. It's fucked. It's all fucked up.
committing a genocide in Gaza, okay? Do you feel like you have used your limited amount of time that you have as a content creator speaking out against Israel doing a genocide on the Palestinian population living in the Gaza Strip? Or do you feel like most of your commentary on that issue has overwhelmingly been to rail against people that are doing that?
Sure.
Pro-Palestinian
Well,
advocates that
I
you
don't know
feel
if-
like you've been wronged by, myself included.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but if you're pro-Palestine, it doesn't absolve you of criticism. That's something that you guys keep harping on. Do I think my coverage?
And I don't think that's the case. I don't think that is the case.
Okay. Do you think my coverage has been like totally balanced? I would say no. I've obviously given less time to the Palestinian perspective, and I think the reason for that is simply that.
No, not just the Palestinian perspective, Ethan. I think that rather than talking about that issue in and of itself, rather than talking about the genocide itself, every time you have
Hasan, I'm answering your question.
Every time you've talked about Israel-Palestine, it almost always revolved around.
I was going to tell you why. Do you want to let me answer?
Personal vendettas that you have experienced
I was
from
going to explain
pro-Palestinian
that.
content creators.
Okay. Would you like me to? You asked me a question, so I'm going to answer
Yeah.
it. The reason
Go
for
ahead.
that being is that I feel like I'm responding to a lot of bullshit that's been passed my way ever since Leftovers ended, starting from you and your community. Now, that's my answer to that. Now, let me ask you about this. This sword has a Nazi swastika hilt.
Okay.
Do you disagree? What's funny about that?
I think it's funny because you've made this a major point of contention. That's why I think it's funny.
Okay,
swastika,
yeah,
is it
but
not?
he's
Yeah.
also made the point of knowing that it does look like a
is,
swastika
you
hilt.
know already that has a hilt that has a Japanese Nazi sign on it. But yes, it does look like a swastika, as I've also noticed and have talked about on numerous occasions that you've brought forward. On your
Yeah, of course
podcast
you're
already.
conceding that because we fished this up, but yeah.
Such as when I made fun of, I believe it was Alexa that grabbed it, and I said, "Oh, you immediately go over the swastika one." Yeah, exactly.
Audio so low.
Do you think?
Yeah.
you
So
think that
anyway,
I-
my
do you
point
think
is,
that I actually
Hasan,
think
if I
it's
can
a-
continue my point, is that you knew it was a swastika sword. So what is the, so I mean, why did you guys choose to pose with this sword?
Ethan?
Answer that. Why was the choice made for this
Ethan,
sword?
I'm gonna gently explain this to you again.
Okay,
One,
but look
it's
at
not-
this one. All right, I get the zoom, right? This is, I think, this photo right here, right? Yeah. But this one. What is that fucking angle? On purpose? I think so. That is 100% on purpose. Like, they all know, well, he knows. He knows exactly what the fuck he's doing. You know what I mean? He's definitely doing some signaling. He's doing, like, I'm not saying he's saying Hail Hitler and shit like that. He's just saying, fuck you, Ethan. I know he is. That's what that feels like to me. You know what I mean? It's because like they're all posed up, whatever, normal pose, peace sign, very out there. Hasan's not even in that picture, which is funny. But he is wearing the thingy, but whatever. I think it's his anyways. I don't know. That's his too, but whatever. It's just weird that this, and he's pretending like he doesn't understand this. You know what I mean? I get, man, yeah, this is a friendly little picture. Cool. We could explain it away as such, but this, no, that's a whole nother thing.
Not a swastika, but regardless.
Do you think it looks like a swastika?
I did not make this editorial decision. I wasn't even.
Do you think it's reasonable to perceive that as a swastika?
Ethan,
answer the question. Is it reasonable to perceive that?
I don't think it was a deliberate decision that IDubbbz made, but I don't know. I don't know his mind.
Hasan, they're your swords, and according to the New York Times article, there was 10 options. So what's the chances that they chose the swastika one? That seems pretty slim.
Huh?
Well,
you have 10 swords, don't you?
The week prior to that, I believe. I don't know the exact timeline. I don't really remember when they shot this, but I had the sword out because I was doing an Assassin's Creed promo. Do you feel like if I thought it was like genuinely a swastika sword, I would use it in an Assassin's Creed promo shot?
Yes. That's what we call a dog whistle, Hasan. And what you're doing is gaslighting somebody. You made a video. Let me make a point here, Hasan, because you're the king of microaggressions and understanding the perspective of minority groups. True. Right? So you made a video. You participated in a video accusing a Jewish. Let me finish my point, Hasan. No. Stop. You are making a video accusing a Jewish man of exaggerating anti-Semitism while exhibiting the most hateful symbol against Jewish people. Do you not see this as a problem? Or at least, am I insane for thinking this is odd?
Ethan, take a deep breath.
Answer the question. I don't need you to console me.
I didn't even hear your question. I need you to.
Well, you should try listening instead of speaking.
I'm just looking for clarification here. Do you think that I deliberately was using a dog whistle in an Assassin's Creed promo, or that it was a cool sword that was laying around because it's the only long sword that I have?
You have 10 swords.
I know, they're heavy. That's not a real sword.
So yes, I'm aware that it's not a real sword, but you had 10 to choose from. What does it matter how much they weigh?
Yeah, the other ones are heavy.
Let me paint a scenario. Hasan, let me paint a scenario for you, okay? Listen, okay? This is important. You participated in a video accusing a Jewish man of exaggerating anti-Semitism. You exhibited in that video the most hateful symbol against Jewish people. 1 out of 10 of your swords that you have previously already stated is the, quote, swastika sword. So am I insane for even... You're treating me like I'm insane for bringing this up, but it sounds pretty reasonable.
I mean,
I can agree with that statement.
Insane,
so yeah, microaggressions.
And he I just look at he smizes. It's weird. He's got this weird smize, and he knows what he's doing, and he smiles at that. It's fucking weird, bro. It's such a weird little behavior. Like Ethan's got tics, but so does this guy. You know what I mean? Everybody's got tics. You know what I mean? And he sure loves it. He sure loves it. You know what I mean? That he could just sweep it under.
Why?
As if it never happened, existed, or anything of the sort.
Bro. I don't believe that you weren't there.
I'm not IDubbbz.
You were there, bro. It's in your fucking house.
I don't know why you're asking me.
Because it's your house and your sword.
But I also gave you what my speculation is. And that is that
it was just a cosmic chance.
I previously had it laying around because I had just done an Assassin's Creed promo.
Okay, if you say so. So if it's a cosmic fluke, which you claim, then why leave the photo up?
I'm not even in the photo. I know
it's in your room though, and with your sword. Why leave the photo up if it's a cosmic fluke?
Wait, why are you asking me this question? I don't know. I'm not. Ethan.
I'm sorry, Hasan. Are you unable to make value judgments on situations? Like, isn't that what you do for a living? Do you think that IDubbbz should have removed?
I don't think it's relevant or that big of a deal at all. If that's what you're trying to get out of me, like, yeah, I think it's not.
Okay, so you're telling a Jewish man who's complaining about a very odd coincidence that I'm crazy and I'm exaggerating.
Over the Manji on it, Ethan. Can we?
All right, I get a little like Ethan's trying to get a push out of him like for this, and it's like, yeah, but he doesn't really have to. Like, IDubbbz posted it, and his girlfriend probably took the fucking picture. You know what I mean? So that's like, you know, it doesn't really matter. Move on. You know what I mean? That's just it's a dumb thing to sit on. We can move on from this statement and actually get somewhere now. But like, you know what I mean? Because we've been sitting here, it's fine, but Jesus.
Hey, you got me, all right? I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, you got
Listen
me.
to
I put a swastika in the video calling you out for exaggerating
No,
anti-Semitism.
that's not what I'm saying.
You
I
got
didn't
me.
do that.
Yes, you did. You literally did.
I didn't do that.
See,
Okay,
that's
laugh about it.
that. Ian Idubbbz probably was the one who chose the sword. Okay, he chose the sword. So, I don't know what to say about that other than like, it's not Hasan. Like, there's 10 swords. Ian chose one. That's it. It's not Hasan's fault. Exactly. Unless he was like, you want to use the Hitler one? You know what I mean? If that's what was done, then yeah, okay, cool. But we don't know what happened there. Either one of the two could have happened. But whatever did happen, I don't. Like I said, whatever. Fuck it. We can move on from this.
Go on.
It's not a swastika. And
Then
I
why
don't
should
even
he leave
think
it up?
you have that much of an issue with swastikas, considering you drew one on PewDiePie.
I'm a Jewish man, you fucking moron.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Is
the
anyone in
Nazis
that
only
room
killed
Jewish?
Jews.
Was
Is that
anyone
what
in that room?
happened?
Did I draw
Do the Nazis
swastika
only kill
one
Jews,
time
you
on?
think? Do you think that Jews have an exclusivity agreement with like being offended or not offended by Nazi imagery? You've done a Sig Heil approximately what 50 times.
Why did I do a
Elon
Sig
Musk did it?
Heil? Why did I do a Sig Heil?
I don't know.
Because because you only watch clips on.
Okay, give me 1 second, chat. How do I do this? I'm gonna do this real fast, and then fuck. Yeah, sure. How do I do this? Just gonna take a quick picture. Myself. Press window logo key, Shift and S. Oh fuck, it's on. God damn it. Okay, hold on. Okay, window logo key, Shift and S, right? Okay. That should be good, right? Where's it at? No, got it. Pictures. Okay, right, I should have that now. I'm gonna get rid of this. Sorry about that, chat. I'm sorry.
On Twitter, I was making fun of Elon Musk and trying to see if it was valid or not.
Oh, thank you.
And by the way, as a
Thank you for
Jewish man, are you
clarifying.
going to
My
tell
bad.
black people not to use the N-word?
Wait, what?
Are you going to tell black people not to use the N-word because it offends you?
Do you think this is an apt comparison?
Yes.
Okay. So you think
Roughly, I
that
guess.
being able to draw the your anti-Semitism radar is completely out of whack.
And
Do
who are you to
understand
say that to
right?
me?
Like,
You
that's the
posed
point
with
of
a
contention
swastika.
here. You're saying that it's not a swastika, and you know it's not a swastika.
I mean, it literally is a swastika.
No, it's not.
Let me
Is
see the
it?
swords in your background. Why didn't you choose one of those ones?
I didn't choose the sword, Ethan.
I don't believe you.
Do you think this is a productive use of our time?
Absolutely. So anyway, you say it's a weird cosmic fluke. Personally, if I think it was a weird cosmic fluke, you say basically it's not a swastika. The difference between the Hindu symbol and
But it's not.
okay, right. The difference between the Hindu symbol
What
and
you
the
drew on
Nazi
PewDiePie,
swastika.
on the other hand, was a swastika.
I'll finish what I said. Yeah, I'm a Jewish man. I depicted a
All right, that's
swastika,
cool.
a tasteless joke
I'm just making sure.
on
Okay,
IDubbbz
so you
shirt
can-
10 years ago. You
Yeah.
said this is the swastika sword, and you keep it in your house, and you use it and pose it in photos, attacking a Jewish man. The fact that you can't even concede that
jokingly
looks
referred
bad.
to it as looking like a swastika when my friend picked it up.
So
if I genuinely thought it was a swastika memorabilia, do you think I would keep it in my house?
Dude, you're being so obtuse. I know it's not a swastika, right? And I know you know it's not a swastika, but it is literally a swastika also. Because the difference between a swastika and that Hindu symbol is this. You see what I'm doing? This is the difference. If you ask a Hindu person, would they walk around with a swastika sign?
Wait, so you know
fuck no. They know that looks like a
keep calling it
swastika.
a swastika sword, so I'm a little confused.
Ask your Hindu friends if they would walk around with like a swastika brandished. They know.
Okay.
Are you Hindu?
I am not Hindu.
Okay, interesting.
No.
So anyway, it was a cosmic fluke.
Do you think
brandished
that only,
what I.
Do you think that only Hindu people have bleed swords? Like, what's going on?
We're discussing the symbol, not the sword. Okay, go ahead. So you think it was a cosmic fluke? There was 10 swords. He magically picked that one.
I can't. Again, I'm speculating
and
on
he left
the
it up.
decision making
If
of
it was
a
a mistake,
person
he could have
who
deleted it.
I'm not him.
Go ahead.
I don't know. Again, I'm going to repeat myself here. I think I'm doing.
You
this a
don't need
lot.
to. Go ahead.
I am not.
Ask me the next
IDubbbz.
question.
I don't know what was going on.
I'm not
in his
accusing you of
mind.
being IDubbbz, Hasan, but you're acting like you're incapable of making value judgments
Bless
on
you.
things because you're not
No,
IDubbbz.
I already
Bless.
made the value judgment. I think you're being crazy.
Okay, well, Mr. Microaggressions thinks I'm being crazy. Very good. You have no problem telling Jewish people they're being crazy on what?
Yes.
It's
'Cause
like a
he's PC.
blatant fuck. Go ahead, ask me the next
Yes.
question.
Yes, I don't.
Do you think
I don't
the
have
so-
a
if you
problem
could go
telling
back-
you're being crazy
If-
right now.
if-
You being Jewish has nothing to do with this.
Sure, I'm sure it doesn't. Do you think going back that it was a mistake to use that sword?
I don't really care about this at all.
Okay, fantastic. Well, that really shows where
I
you're at on this.
genuinely-
Go ahead,
I
and ask
don't
me a
care.
question.
Okay. So,
I'm glad we're moving on.
since you believe that Israel is committing a genocide, what are the appropriate steps that people can take, both in the Western world and also regional actors can take against this entity doing a genocide by your own admission, that you would consider to be appropriate? Because it feels like throughout this entire process, you have set boundaries on what you think
Just
is
killing
inappropriate,
civilians. That's the boundary.
as you have set boundaries on what you think is inappropriate.
Killing civilians.
And time and time again has said is outright anti-Semitic.
My boundary is killing civilians.
Okay, that's great. So
Is that unreasonable?
That's a very normal take.
perfectly reasonable boundary to set.
Okay, good. So
I
then we don't
totally agree with
disagree.
you on that.
That's a normal
Great.
take.
Great.
Okay.
So let me ask you the next
So-
one. Let me ask you
All
about
of
the
it.
Macabre tier
Wait, hold on,
tier
hold
list.
What type of
I have
answer
a-
would you have
can I-
wanted?
Let me finish.
Well, you asked and I answered. Go ahead. You could
Okay.
you could go on a little bit more.
Okay, so hold on. I'm complaining about my volume on my side because we're using Zoom instead of Discord. So my fucking
Go ahead.
audio.
It's fine. Take your time to get the
My
audio.
audio
right.
keeps going up and down. Okay. So, one of the first conversations that we had, you and I had, that led
fuck
to
uses Zoom?
the Leftovers podcast
At all.
was that you considered "From the River to the Sea, Palestine will be free" to be an anti-Semitic slogan. You said that
That sounds
Jews
pretty
feel
crazy.
like this is an exterminationist slogan, and Jews fear this slogan in the United States of America.
Correct.
If you think that
Right.
Israel's doing a genocide, do you feel like it is appropriate for Westerners in the United States of America and Palestinians and people of Palestinian descent to be able to use emancipatory slogans, or should they go to jail under the Trump administration?
Okay. I mean, these are pretty extreme questions. Now, I'm not making a value judgment. I'm just trying. All I was trying to do.
Question is what's happening
Bro,
right now.
do you want me to answer?
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to explain the Jewish perspective. I'm not trying to make a value judgment of it. But what I will tell you is that how do you feel about Norm Finkelstein?
Love Norm. I know he has said that it
Here's
is,
what he had to say about this.
I know what he
No,
said.
no. I want the
He doesn't
audience to
like the
see this,
slogan.
Hasan.
Hold on. Can I just...
Hasan, I want the audience to
This is
see
not
this
going to be a gotcha
video.
moment for you because I know Norm's position.
Good, I'm glad you know. Let's let the audience.
All right, well, that's Norm. He is a fucking American political scientist and activist known for his criticism of Israel and the Holocaust industry. He is the son of a Holocaust survivors and has written several books on the subject. Alrighty. Okay, now we know.
Audience know, Hasan.
You know what I mean?
Hey, Hasan, let the audience watch the video.
I can have a nuanced and reasonable disagreement with a person that I actually admire.
So that's what we're having.
Like Norm. But I have
so it's nuanced and
yes.
understandable with Norm. Let the audience watch the video, Hasan.
Okay. Go ahead.
Palestine will be free.
Let me go back.
Slogan
Yeah. Here's the Norm Finkelstein, a prominent figurehead in the Palestinian liberation movement.
I would like the slogan
I know. I have
No,
more
no,
positions
pardon
that I
me.
disagree with him on
The video
this
was
as
like,
well.
will be free. I think it's a bad slogan. I know the slogan from the 1960s, the 1970s. It was a bad slogan then, and it's a bad slogan now because it has too much ambiguity. When you say from the river
Hasan's going to hit me with the Cherry Act.
to the sea, Palestine will be free, obviously a question arises. Okay, what happens to the Jews in that scenario? And some people will say, well, all it's about is everybody being free, but that's not what the slogan says. So I have, in recent weeks, I have voiced my concern that it's a bad slogan. And I said, just change it, tweak it. From the river to the sea, one person, one vote, Palestinians will be free. And you can't answer that slogan because all you're talking about is equal rights for everyone. From the river to the sea, one person, one vote, Palestinians will be free.
Why does he find this specifically funny? I don't understand what's exactly... Well, maybe, yeah, because that was really long and winded. I don't find it funny, but winded, but what?
Well, I don't know if he actually means the one vote thing, because I think what he's saying is good in that. From the river to the sea, Palestinians will be free, which I think is good. You're laughing at Norm.
Routinely talked at campus encampments, college campus, Palestinian encampments as to, I'm not going to make much hay about the slogan in general. There's plenty of other slogans.
Well, you're willing to listen to him, but when I say it, it becomes a big controversy. I literally, I'm not. It's not even my opinion. I can have a disagreement with him on that, and you're forgetting one key factor. What's that?
Okay, you're forgetting one key factor. Norm Finkelstein still ultimately will always say, while I disagree with the slogan because I think it scares people, it ultimately does not matter, and I'm not going to stand in opposition to it. He doesn't say it's anti-Semitic.
When have I opposed it?
He doesn't say it is exterminationist.
When have I opposed it?
That's what people think.
When have I opposed it?
If you think that Norm Finkelstein would be in agreement with you in any way, shape, or form on any issue, please have a conversation with him.
He's literally in agreement with me, like verbatim.
Okay.
Actually, even more.
You said it was anti-Semitic. Norm doesn't think it's anti-Semitic.
Hasan, do you remember me advocating against it?
Oh shit, I'm dying. Oh, dying.
Do you remember me advocating against it?
If he agrees with you on anything.
Sure, I'll ask Norm Finkelstein. Do you remember me denouncing that statement and saying people shouldn't say it?
I believe in our conversation.
No, it didn't happen. You're lying.
You said it was anti-Semitic.
I said it's perceived that way by Jewish people. All right, let's move on. The Sabra tier list.
Norm does not believe it's an anti-Semitic
Very
slogan.
good. I'll ask him about it. Now, let me ask you about
Are you actually going to do that? Because that would be wonderful.
Yes, I'm going to talk to Norm.
Productive.
We'll have a great conversation about From the River to the Sea.
From the river to the sea.
No. It's my turn.
Okay,
you spoke, and now it's my
turn. Everyone will be free.
You go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very gracious of you.
Well, I mean, it's just a back and forth conversation, but you seemingly have a lot of grievances not pertaining to the actual issue at hand. But
I don't know. The issue, my friend, the issue at hand is your behavior.
Yes,
No, I think
I
the issue at hand is
completely
the
agree.
genocide.
Oh, come
We
on.
seem to be coming at this from two different angles, which is great. Right? So let me ask you this.
No, yeah, I will agree with Ethan here, because if you think about it, he's always talking about the genocide and all this stuff and this and that, and you know, saying he said in clips before that he believes 9/11 fucking is deserved and shit and all this shit. He has said some of the wildest shit that I've ever heard on the internet. Honestly, I don't know how he even has the balls to say it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even say it. What the fuck? Like that and I say a lot of crazy shit, dude. Like, what the fuck? I wouldn't say that. You know what I mean? But yeah, his behavior is part of all that. So it leans into that because he wants to go in with it the same way he's been going about these kind of discussions anyways, because every time he has like a discussion, as far as I've seen with any human being, it's gotta be about the goddamn bullshit happening in fucking Palestine and Israel and, or whatever. Some stupid bullshit. He can't just have a normal conversation with people. It's always gotta be I'm a political dick suck all the time, and I don't understand why it's gotta be that fucking way. You know what I mean? You could literally just chill the fuck out. But look at his background. Writers Guild of America on strike. That was a little political thing. He's got the fucking, what, is that Obama? And the fucking Queen? What else we got over here? I don't know, man. He's got a lot of shit. He used to have a lot more weirder shit in the back. What is that? I don't know. It's probably like the Turkish flag because he's a Turkish Turk.
Hold on, you said it's my turn to ask, so let me do that. Is it my turn to ask a question or what?
That there's a genocide. You already recognize that Israel is committing a genocide.
I can care about two things, Hasan. It's very important to acknowledge that.
Don't you think?
I can care about two things, my friend.
Incredibly narrow framework surrounding
easy.
your own personal feelings.
I'm not that smart, but I can care about two things.
Okay, no,
even if one is more urgent than the other.
You think your own personal feelings born out of your misunderstandings is more important?
Did I say that? I said one is more urgent than the other, referring to the genocide.
Oh, okay. So you recognize that
Hasan,
the genocide is a more urgent
Hasan,
issue.
please let me ask a question.
Almost all of your commentary surrounding this issue on talking about your own personal feelings and how you've been wronged by people.
Very good. Let me ask you. So you claimed
Wait, can you answer that question?
No, Hasan, you asked your question. It's my turn. I talked about how gracious you were, man. What happened?
Wait, but
I said you're so gracious. You're going to let me ask you a question. What happened?
Does that make sense?
Don't make me take it back. All right, let me ask you a question.
Sense to you?
Hold on to that. Ask me after this. You defended Krogan's use of the Sabra tier list. What was your opinion on that?
Oh my God.
Go ahead.
I think that the Sabra hummus tier list is absolutely insane to consider anti-Semitic, and most people.
I do believe that, like, Frogan in character, I've barely seen shit about her, but everything I've seen about this crazy chick, oh God. I mean, she's said just as crazy shit, and she doesn't even have balls. That's crazy, huh? No, but she said that she was gonna make. I think she actually made it. She made a cake with re-depicting the 9/11 falling of the towers, the crash, with the plane crashing into it and stuff. Yeah, and she did do a weird. Even Twitch, like, backhandedly agreed that it was distasteful and not an okay. What is it? What do you call it? That little area, like the little spot where they had TwitchCon or whatever the fuck. Cause she had her own specific little bit for that. You know what I mean? And it was very weird, man. Honestly, you know what I mean? It's just weird. She's also a very big, mean person when it comes to like just being mean about stuff and just saying mean ass shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. She's just really mean. Terrible person.
Have already laughed about it, despite the fact that it was very damaging in terms of deplatforming a bunch of content creators that participated in this, egged on by yourself, by the way.
Yes. With pleasure.
And And yeah, it's not
It's insane.
even remotely.
Okay.
It's not even remotely anti-Semitic.
Very
it's like
good. Let me ask
identical
you a
to the
question.
Cracker Band that Twitch capitulated on.
So let me follow up with this. Have you seen the thumbnail?
The thumbnail?
Yes, that's what I said. This
For
is the
what?
thumbnail that's still up. Now, let me ask you this, Hasan. Here's Frogan's thumbnail for the Sabra hummus tier list. In the F tier is me and Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is not in the tier list. He has never explored or used. Why do you think Ben Shapiro is on the F tier?
Ethan?
Whoa, answer the
walk you through this
question.
again.
What, you're dodging?
I'm not iDubbbz. And
Oh,
I'm
but
not
you can't
Frogan.
make value judgments suddenly on your friends who you've spent all this time defending.
No, because I don't care.
Well, I do.
I don't. Like,
See, look, his defense on this one really isn't like I'm talking about Hasan's. Hasan's defense really on this one is kind of poor because like it's not about the it's not about editing, being her to edit that. You know, you understand surely that this is weird, right? That's what he's trying to say, at least. That like putting him and Ben Shapiro in the bottom, even though they're Jews, Israeli, you know, like they're Jews and stuff, and they can't say Habibi, which they can say Habibi. Jews can say Habibi. They're just so hateful of him, and I do believe they don't like him either. They think of both of them as Zionists. And that I do believe that's kind of why, you know, we have that.
I think it's great you don't care. Why is Ben Shapiro there?
I don't know. I don't care. Probably because he's also
Probably
a
because he's
massive
Jewish?
fucking. What?
Because it's the most most prominent Jewish creators on YouTube.
Do you think Ben Shapiro's Judaism is the reason as to why he would be on this?
100% without a doubt, yes.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Hold
go ahead,
on.
take your time. I know it's a lot to process.
Okay. Yeah, this is a lot to process.
Yeah, I know, man. It's tough. You really don't know what to say because it looks pretty bad.
No, because it's so fucking stupid.
Well, tell me then.
You look kind of dumb
So why
right
is Ben
now.
there?
You look kind of insane.
Okay, very good.
That's
Why is Ben
I'm having
there?
a hard time. Like, I don't know why fucking Frogan made this thumbnail. And
Why
I
is
don't
Ben
care.
there?
I don't have any issue with this thumbnail.
Why is Ben there?
Because he's a prominent defender of Israel.
You're quick to say that Jews aren't the only Zionists, right? So why is Ben Shapiro, of all the people in the world who are conservatives, who are Zionists, Christian Zionists, why Ben Shapiro? Me and Ben Shapiro and F tier, the two most prominent Jewish creators on YouTube? That's a coincidence, just like the swastika, huh?
Ethan,
these are two cosmic coincidences, eh? Hasan, they're really stacking up.
The tier list that you're talking about, first of all, the tier list that we're talking about was literally designed by a Jewish content creator who you advocated to ban, and he got banned.
Very good, and I'm glad he did. He definitely deserved it.
Jew. You called him a token Jew.
And I still stand by that. The man is just yeah.
So you get to draw swastikas on PewDiePie, but Rafi can't say that there is a tier list here where Sabra
This is
Hummus
Frogan's tier list. This is her.
Is the lowest. The Sabra Hummus, liking Sabra Hummus is the lowest tier.
Ben Shapiro.
And the highest tier is being able to get a Habibi pass. You, as a Jew, get to determine what other Jews are able to do. You're the Pope of the Jews, as Sam Cedar likes to
I'm
call
not
Ben
determining
Shapiro,
what they can do,
enough.
but this is
going on.
This is Frogan's bit. This is her stage. This is her bit. I mean, you can say the Jewish dude is the fall guy and did everything, but that's not true.
Wait, so you get to draw swastikas, but Rafi can't even say Sabra Hummus is dog shit.
He can say whatever he wants. I'm not criticizing.
So
by the way, you think that my
criticism
criticism is that he doesn't like Sabra Hummus? Are you being serious right now? By the way, is that a beat? Hold on, what are you drinking?
It's a Dr. Pepper cream
Isn't that
soda.
Who owns that?
I don't know, but it's not on the BDS
Are
national
you sure?
BDS list.
We'll double check.
Yes, I'm 100% sure.
Okay, we'll double check that. It's not about
I think
Sabra
Keurig
Hummus, and,
owns
like,
Dr. Pepper now.
Let's not be obtuse.
Ethan, actually, the BDS one is actually pretty funny too, because like you've been, you consistently talk about how like I drink Diet Coke or whatever. When that fan came up to me and said stop drinking Diet Coke, it was not on the Palestinian National Committee's official BDS list.
Yes, it was.
And ever since it
lying.
has been on that official BDS list,
You're lying.
I have not drank.
What the
Diet
fuck is
Coke
this
or
BDS
purchased any
list, though?
Diet Cokes at all.
You're lying. It was on the list.
Oh, I don't fucking care about the list. I feel.
Yeah, it was on the list. You're lying.
What was on the list?
Coke.
Yes, it was put on the list, and I stopped purchasing Coke, and I stopped drinking Diet Coke.
You
even though I
said
love
you know
Diet
what's
Coke.
funny? You told her
Because I think it's like
you remember
not
what you told
that
her, son?
significant.
You remember what you told her? You said, "I'll just put it in a cup."
Yeah, no, I was joking with her because I thought that it was a ridiculous request at the time because it wasn't on the Palestinian National Committee's official boycott, divestment, and sanctions list, Ethan.
Okay. It's not about Sabra hummus, just so you know. Like, let's not be silly
Wait,
about
what is
this.
it about?
It's about what's Sabra means a Jew born in Israel. It's an Israeli company. It's everybody knows it's like considered like Israeli hummus. It's been on the BDS list. Everybody knows the connotations of Sabra hummus, right?
Nobody.
Yeah, I don't like Sabra hummus either. But we're not talking about hummus. What I don't like is anti-Semitism perpetuated by your friends and swept by you. Now, why is Ben Shapiro on the F here? That's a cosmic coincidence. Okay, let's move on. Very good.
Ethan,
go ahead. Next question.
I'm not Frogan,
I know it's
and I don't know
I know.
why.
How can I make value judgments on my friends I've been defending for 2 years?
Also,
who can say?
there is a tier list in front of me.
What is this shit?
And it seems like a bunch of people, both
Ben
Jewish
Shapiro and me are in the F tier.
on the Loves Sabra tier list.
You're looking at the end. I'm looking at the thumbnail, bro. I'm talking about the thumbnail.
I know, but I first of all, again, I'm making inferences about editorial decisions that other people have made. I'm just simply speculating at this point.
Sure.
But you know, it's a.
Are you not embarrassed by this armpit hair? It's so cringy, bro. It's like so weird. I'm glad you changed that finally. On a separate note.
What?
I find it just so weird and bizarre that this was your thumbnail for so long. Also,
why are we fucking pointing out the armpit hair, man? Oh my god. Ugh.
Ironically, wearing
fucking
a Rolex
move on.
like probably
move on to the next point.
Excess.
Let's keep the flow going.
Yeah. I got a free
Cool,
Rolex
dude.
hat from a friend of mine. I still wear it every now and then.
You're so. Oh wow, who knew? So anyway, Ben Shapiro was accidentally in the F tier.
What does this have to do with anything? What's going on, man?
Yeah, I know.
What's
It's
happening?
confusing. It's very confusing for you. It's like a car crash, I'm sure.
So why do you think there's a Jewish
this is a
man
cosmic
in the A
mistake.
tier
Let's move on.
on the tier list? If you think that it's like all about anti-Semitism and
do you think that this is at least a bad coincidence?
No, I don't.
Well,
I
that's
really don't.
fantastic.
No, I don't think it's a bad coincidence at all. I think you're trying to find with a fine-tooth comb like any incidents.
The Jewish man is crazy. He sees anti-Semitism
and you're having
everywhere.
a really hard time.
These are just cosmic
if you want
mistakes.
my perspective, I'm telling you. If you want my perspective, I'm giving it to you. I think genuinely, at a time when there is unprecedented levels
yes,
of
I know. We can't talk about
open and
anything else. That's very convenient for you.
At a time when there's unprecedented levels of out and about anti-Semitism with incredibly prominent, oftentimes right-wing conservative figureheads actively talking about Jews, okay, in deeply anti-Semitic fashion, you have lasered in on people that you can't even actually catch, quote unquote, dead to rights because they're not anti-Semitic.
Well, they're not
And
wearing a
you
shirt
want
that says
to
"I
make
hate
them-
Jews," but
it
they're walking
seems to
around
me-
swastikas
to me
and
like
doing tier
you-
lists with Jews on the bottom. I mean, that's as close as you
seems
can
to
pretty
me
much fucking
like
get without them
you-
just saying "I hate Jewish people."
Ethan, it seems to me like
And I think you're
want
acting really
them
silly and
to be
obtuse right now. The
anti-Semitic.
guy who's all about microaggressions and understanding the perspective of minorities and stuff, telling a Jewish man that he's hallucinating anti-Semitism and won't even
I am doing
concede
that.
that this looks bad. Okay, fantastic.
you're hallucinating anti-Semitism.
I would say that Ethan's not like hallucinating anti-Semitism, but he definitely goes out and kind of looks for it. You know what I mean? Like he cares about the Jewish identity, I guess, a bit. Even though I've heard him in the past say, like, so what? You know what I mean? But you know, he's been there and stuff, and went to his homeland, and his wife's fucking Jewish and shit, or Israeli or whatever. But I do think they are actively targeting him, you know what I mean? Like to maybe even just get a rise out of him or or not. I don't know. Maybe some people will just like pissing people off, and it's just I don't know. I do know that, like, even with the interview with Sam Cedar the other day with Ethan, Sam noticed that, like, yeah, Ethan was kind of looking into things a little too much. Even though, yeah, you can see it that way, for sure. But at the same time, maybe it's layered, you know what I mean? And you're adding more layers. Maybe there was just one layer and you're adding all these other layers, and it seems crazier than it was originally sought out to be. But, you know what I mean? I don't know. You know, it's something.
In this circumstance,
very good.
I'm not saying anti-Semitism is not a prominent fixture of American politics.
Very good.
I actually do think that anti-Semitism has exploded in popularity in American politics, especially. So that's not my point.
You had a co-host? No. They were co-hosts.
I really don't.
They used to be co-hosts.
Anything you can hold on.
You know what I mean?
Really not a
but
stretch,
once again,
man.
none of those people are me. So I don't know why.
Let's stop with the value judgment thing. Like, you can't make a decision. It sounds stupid as hell, dude.
Wait, I sound stupid as hell? What?
No, when you go, I can't draw.
Because these guys used to have a podcast called The Leftovers, and I had an episode of me reacting to some of their stupid shit. Because both of them are like, they're left. You know what I mean? Hasan's like far as fuck left, but it's they were really weird, and they would never get past like what do you call it? Topics and shit. They would never move on, and I'm just sitting there like losing my mind on them. She could be my co-host. Start a podcast ourselves. Call it something. But yeah, so they used to have the podcast, and it was just lame. Honestly, it was one of the lamest podcasts I've ever seen in my entire life. But they would talk about political shit, and then they broke up because one has like Palestinian beliefs, and one has more like Jewish beliefs, I guess. I mean, it's something like that.
I mean, I don't know why you're asking me what their genuine decision making.
Why would I want my best friend Ida to be anti-Semitic? Why would I want my best friend Ida to be anti-Semitic? Why would I want that? You think I enjoy my friends and people around me being anti-Semitic?
Do you want me to tell you why?
I would love.
I don't think you're gonna like the answer.
Yeah, this is gonna be good. Go ahead.
Okay, you want everyone that has criticized you to be anti-Semitic, so that it makes you feel better about your position. It's not your own personal positions that you have explained to people that come across like you're using anti-Semitism as a shield to deflect criticisms against Israel.
This is
and that if they are actually out and about anti-Semites, that'll make you feel a little bit more comfortable, like you won the argument in your mind, and that your community would also finally go, oh yeah, you're right, you're a permanent victim in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
But because there's an unimaginable amount of anti-Semitism everywhere online, it comes across as shocking that you laser in on what you perceive are dog whistles when they're very clearly not even dog whistles at all. And I'll give you an example of this. Something that you did that I found very funny was you tweeted, or you don't tweet, sorry. You Instagram posted about my Theo Von podcast appearance.
Sure did.
My Theo Von podcast appearance where you were like, oh, I can't believe Theo Von didn't actually ask him about his like dangerous anti-Semitism or any number of different things in the conversation, including I think you talked about Rick Scott. Now, we did actually talk. Theo Von and I did actually talk about Rick Scott.
Let's pull that clip up,
I'm sure you didn't see that. But hold on, let me finish. But what I found very strange about that was the fact that Theo Von, and I didn't even know this at the time, the day prior to me, had actually interviewed Candace Owens. I think you and I both agree that Candace Owens is an anti-Semite, right?
I think that he was on that 1-2 punch.
He was on that 1-2 punch.
Do you think?
Hit him with that anti-Semitism, boy.
No, Ethan,
okay, I see that. You see what I'm saying? Like Candace Owens, yeah, she doesn't. I don't think she likes like the Israeli state shit or whatever's going on. Or whatever, she doesn't like it. She don't fuck with shit. I don't really know her stances on everything, but I just know she's pretty radical on it. I mean, she's more far right. I think you could consider, just like he's farther left. They're on like the opposite ends of the spectrum, really, but they both are, I guess, idealistically in the same boat too when it comes to that. But yeah, he sees that Candace, like he's thinking that Theo Von, in a sense, is doing like anti-Semitic signaling or whatever, dog whistling, also now has to be because he had first Candace Owens and then fucking Hasan. So that's a Jew, an anti-Jew to an anti-Jew episode. It's gotta be anti-Semitic because, well, these cosmic things are just lining up, aren't they, Hasan? Right? But I don't know. It's just weird to assume that based off of just scheduling. Like, what the fuck?
He was on a vibe.
Co-host, as your former podcast co-host, do you think that I am anti-Semitic? One, and if you think I am, do you think I'm as anti-Semitic as Candace Owens?
So yes, I think you're anti-Semitic at this point. I'm comfortable saying that. Are you as anti?
Point.
Well, let me finish.
Let me finish.
You asked me 2 questions.
And let's address
No.
what you think I'm doing that's anti-Semitic.
Hold the phone. You asked me 2 questions together. I'm going to answer both. You said, do you think I'm anti-Semitic? After talking to you so far today, I can say unreservedly yes. I think that you are more anti-Semitic than Candace Owens? No. But I think your form of anti-Semitism is way more destructive and sinister. Candace Owens is outright. Hold on there, Hasan. This is an important question.
You think I'm anti-Semitic now? Because 2 days ago you said I wasn't.
I'm gonna answer.
Okay.
Your form of anti-Semitism is way more insidious because it's silent, it's tricky. She's out there just saying what she believes, and I respect her for that. Nick Fuentes is just out there. Nobody knows that what's his stance on Israel. Candace Owens' stance on Israel. But you're tricky. What you do is deny the heritage of Middle Eastern Jews, stuff like that. You accuse them of being always the oppressor, always. Everything. And by the way, you spent the first part of this debate calling me insane for what I think most people would perceive as blatant, obvious anti-Semitic acts.
I don't think most people would look at what you're doing right now and
let's
think
not worry
this
about
is
that.
A sign of mental sanity.
Well, we'll have time to pull the audience afterwards. So let's continue.
Okay. All right. Well, look. Going back to the Theo Von situation, and you said I'm anti-Semitic, right? Yesterday you said, or 2 days ago, in the aftermath of the Sam Cedar conversation, you said I'm not anti-Semitic. So what has changed in that process? Is it this conversation that you and I had?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Got it. All right.
Here's the clip, by the way. You accused me of not. You accused me of not mentioning that Theo Von did not ask you about Rick Scott. Let's go back and watch the clip.
Because, no, I said I didn't say.
Bro, you literally look like the dude from Beetlejuice. That's crazy. The small head guy.
Ethan, I use my words very carefully. I said in the Instagram story that you posted. I don't watch your streams that much.
Okay. Whatever. He's going and attacking. Whatever. It's fine. It's funny. It's just I don't know. It's just out there. Cause I don't. Fuck it.
I don't.
I only in the waiting room, bro. That's crazy. Do you see the resemblance?
What?
That's in this photo. You have like the same coat and shit.
Yeah. That's you are a comedian.
I sure am, buddy.
I sure am, buddy.
All right. Anyway, so you accused me of misrepresenting what happened. Let's play the clip.
Right, $800 billion of Medicare and Medicaid that they want to cut. Mike Johnson goes on stage, says, goes on Caitlin Collins on CNN and says, "Oh, there's a lot of fraud happening." There's not fraud happening in Medicare and Medicaid on the point of the recipient.
Right.
It's happening on the point of the providers.
Right.
And that's why I got banned recently on Twitch yesterday. Because
Sorry about that one day.
So you just got back.
Yeah, Libs at TikTok was like posting about how I said something.
Wait, what is this?
And they misconstrued it as though it was a call to action to assassinate a sitting
why
US
are you showing
senator.
me this?
Well, you're saying I didn't bring this up, or I'm saying that Theo didn't bring this up. He didn't. You brought it up, framed it in your own way to basically preempt a tough question.
No, he did say some weird shit, man. He said some fucked up shit, no doubt. And the way he worded that was so lighthearted. It seemed like he did nothing fucking wrong. He said what he said. He did say that. He was calling for somebody to do some shit. What? And you told it to the comedian guy as if he didn't know it, and he doesn't know. He doesn't fucking pay attention to your bitch ass. Fuck.
Ethan, I said on the Instagram story that you posted about me.
It's crazy.
Dan, can you switch it back to Ethan?
Don't switch it back, Dan.
I'm switching it back. 1 second.
All right, thanks, Dan.
I know, man.
This looks ridiculous on my
sure
end.
does, buddy.
I'm sorry. Okay. So yeah, this was
And it's not just because of the video.
The post as well, but the post I was referring to was make sure Theo knows how you feel about hosting a terrorist adjacent content creator, and I believe there was another post about it or something. But again,
I said he was irresponsible to platform you and not ask you difficult questions.
Yeah. So the question I have for you once again is like he had Candace Owens on. Like, do you feel like that's a little bit more damaging in terms of spreading potentially anti-Semitic narratives, or do you think that anti-Semitism is when you feel bad personally, and that could be any number of different things that I've done in any given moment?
Yes, I think you were just as bad as her in your own special way, and that's why. You guys were hitting that same flavor.
Candace Owens,
yes,
on anti-Semitism in my own special way.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Very good.
Cool.
Very good. So
like I said, I said they're about the same on the opposite ends of the charts. He's super fucking left. She's super fucking right. So I agree with that statement, honestly, and I just find I just agree. That's all. I just completely agree. They're both wild people.
Let me ask you a question.
Wow, Chad.
Can you now officially not talk about like Frogan or anyone else and tell me why I'm anti-Semitic?
Well, we're kind of getting
2
there.
2 days ago, you said I wasn't, but
I
also for a year.
You're repeating yourself.
Well, I am, because you haven't answered
No
this question.
way.
I literally
2 days
answered
ago,
it
you said I
probably
wasn't
2 times.
anti-Semitic.
The reason that I'm
For a
saying you're
year-
anti-Semitic
for
is
a
because how you
year-
responded to my question at the beginning of this interview.
Ethan, for an entire year, you called me a virulent anti-Semite,
No,
a rabid anti-Semite.
never did.
You did. You did. You went
not.
back and forth
I have
on it.
actually
Even
went back
Ben
and checked.
you on it.
I had said that
Even-
you've spread anti-Semitism and stuff, but I never called you an anti-Semitic. I went back and checked.
I don't know,
You're
but-
You're
lying.
simply spreading
Maybe.
anti-Semitism.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difference.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Okay, can I ask you a
Tier
question?
list is about Habibi, not Sabr. You're conceding to the framing? Yeah, we're not conceding to anything. I don't want to even talk about the tier list anymore. Stop it. Okay.
Okay, let me ask. My turn. Do you think it's
All right, your
appropriate to accuse? Do you think it's appropriate to accuse any Jewish person you disagree with of working with the ADL?
Oh yeah, it's because when Frogan and them got banned, the ADL reached out to Twitch about that. Not Ethan didn't really have much to do with it, other than the fact that he brought light to it. But it wasn't just Ethan. News articles were bringing light to it. Tons of other people were talking about the situation. ADL got their hands on it and was like, "Oh fuck no," because the ADL is kind of crazy, and they, I'm not in agreement with ADL because they're fucking stupid. They are like way that's its own story. But the ADL got those creators banned, not Ethan. But he did make the statement. This guy, made the statement that that. So
no,
Here, for example, is someone using it anti-Semitically.
You're saying that Ethan Klein and ADL in unison.
Hassan, let me finish. You're getting ahead of yourself, buddy.
Yes, I do. I do think that that's
You're getting ahead of yourself, man.
That's a valid thing to not only speculate, but also
Hold
I stand on that for sure.
Hassan, I'm getting there. You're getting ahead of yourself, buddy. Here's an example of it being used in an anti-Semitic way. I'm sure you'll agree. Timeline on that doesn't make a lot of sense.
I heard you in the
Who is this?
ADL.
What is this?
This is your fan who ran up on me on Rodeo.
Who the fuck is this guy? My fan?
Yeah.
This.
You remember?
Wait, is this the? Is this the guy?
Yeah, you remember.
Wait. No, this is the guy that you claimed was my fan, right? He was calling me the fucking.
I mean, there's a clip of being like, "Yo, I love this dude." Anyway, who cares if he's your fan or not?
No.
The point is,
Hold on.
No,
You brought this dude
it doesn't
up.
matter.
And
I'm
I
showing
believe this
him
is not
as an
the first time
example
you
of
brought
you.
this dude up. It does matter. It
Okay,
does
fine.
matter.
He's
You
not a
brought him
fan.
up.
I don't care.
You
Listen,
brought him up. Wait, what do you mean you don't care?
If I brought
Now
him
you don't
up,
care.
Hassan, if I brought him up, let me finish my
That person
point.
is not a fan of mine.
Save
why
it.
did you make it seem like that
Hassan.
person was a fan of mine then?
Let me get to there, okay? You asked me.
No,
it's
get
my
there
turn
right
to
now.
ask a question. Just because
Why
I
do you
brought
think
him
this
up
random
doesn't give
fucking
you the
guy is a
space to
fan of mine,
interject.
Ethan? Is it because he rolled up to me
Let
and
me
tried
finish.
to fucking clout farm? Is that why?
Yes.
At the
Okay, thank you very
encampment where I was
much.
very clearly disturbed by his presence?
Hassan,
Is
I
that
think
why?
you know where I'm going, and I think you're scared. Yeah,
Ethan,
let me.
can you answer the question?
Let me.
Why did you falsely claim that this fucking
Because he's
random
on
dude
video
who
saying
does
he
not
loves
like
you, that you're
me
his favorite
is a
person in the
fan
world?
of
What do you
mine?
mean?
Didn't you use? Didn't wait?
All right, Hassan.
Didn't
Here you go,
use
buddy.
him approaching
Here
you?
we go. You wanted it.
Didn't
I've
you
got
use
it.
him approaching you?
Can I give you a hug, bro?
I'm so
I
sweaty, bro.
love you.
I'm so sweaty.
I love you, bro.
I love you,
I
bro.
have to interview you. You're like my hero, bro.
You're the GOAT.
You're the coolest guy in the world, bro.
Wow, how crazy.
You look gay in that.
I'm fucking. Is this another? Is this another hysterical delusion?
Yes, it is, and I'm gonna explain to you exactly why. Because
Wow,
we spent a
dude, I
good
love
deal
you.
of
You're the GOAT,
encampment.
bro.
We spent a good deal of our time in the encampment. If you watch the unedited full live stream, we spent a good deal of the entirety of the encampment running away from him because he kept trying to ask me dumbass fucking questions.
Okay, but that's got nothing to do with he's a fan. Listen,
for his own
Hassan,
dumbass
please.
podcast.
You're derailing this, and I need to.
I'm not derailing it.
You
it's
absolutely
not called derailing.
are.
When I'm telling you, I was there, and I'm telling you the situation.
Very good.
You are nefariously making it seem as though this person is a massive
Do
fan
I need
of
to
mine.
play the clip
He was
again?
just trying to cloud chase.
I'll play it again. You know, I'm fucked.
You can play that clip again. Can you play the clip where he openly admits he doesn't know who I am and asks people around? Because that also.
You're my hero, bro. I love you.
You're the coolest guy in the world.
You're the coolest guy in the world.
Hold on, I think I look gay in that one.
I think I look gay in that one.
3, 2,
Ethan.
Yes, sir.
It's the Oblivion fan meme.
You okay?
If you think he was a fan of mine, why'd you call him a Sneeko fan when you interviewed him?
Because he's both. I mean, surely there's crossover.
Oh, there's a crossover.
Do I need to play the video again?
Okay,
I'll
well,
do it again. Fuck it.
My producer and my camera op, March, my guy right now.
You're like my. Hold on, I think I look gay.
Oh my
Very good.
fucking
I'm
god.
original. Let me get to my point, please.
I mean,
so I'm not even asking you to endorse this guy. I'm just simply showing you.
I don't endorse him.
I know you
and
don't.
He's not a fan of mine. So why did you?
This is still just like fucking leftovers, man. We can't go nowhere. Nothing's being said. We're just arguing about the same fucking goddamn circular fucking motions. Holy fuck!
Claim that he was a fan of mine because he fucking
I'll play it again.
chased.
I mean, I feel like we're running in circles.
Please
Please
don't.
A fucking Palestinian encampment. That's why. That's all it takes for you.
No, it was when he said, "You're the GOAT. You're my hero. I love you."
He didn't know who I was. He was just saying that so he could fucking ask for
He
an
literally
interview for his
recognized
podcast,
you.
for his PUA podcast.
Okay, who cares? I don't care. So let me
Wait,
move
now
on.
you don't
do you
care.
want to talk about this for
It
2
seems like-
hours, or do you want to actually have a
It seems like
conversation?
this is a wait. Well, hold on. You can't just say you don't care all of a sudden when you look like a fucking asshole for falsely claiming that some random
I'll play
person
it
who
again.
stalked you.
Fuck!
is a
I'm gonna
fan of
lose my
mine.
mind.
You said he was a fan of mine in. I believe in,
Okay,
your,
I
in one
lied,
of your videos.
I lied
you
about
said he
him
was
being a
a fan
fan.
of mine, and I was sending harassment
I
your
concede.
way.
Yes, very
Don't
good.
you think that's a big point of contention? Don't you feel like this is a big point of contention?
I concede. I want to show you an example
Do
of.
you see my side of this?
Shut the fuck up, Hasan! Shut the fuck up!
Yeah, wants the cloud chase, and you turn around and you say that he is a fan of mine to prove a point, to make a false
Just
point
let
that
the
I'm
fucking
to imply
conversation continue.
that I'm sending people to harass you.
That's
Do you
not what I
feel like
implied.
that's appropriate?
That's a total lie. I have never accused you of anything of the sort. That is an outright horrific.
You did not imply that this person that was a
lie.
fan of mine
Yes,
was
I did.
actually harassing you.
Yes. When is it, now, that's a big logical leap, Hasan, from he's a fan of yours to you're sending people to harass me. That's fucking insane. And by the way, I mean, you are a liar. You know that, right?
Did he not harass you?
Bro, what are you talking about? Did
he not harass
him?
you?
Did you send him to harass me? No.
Did he harass you and then you imply in your video that he was a fan of mine?
Go ahead. When you're done, go. I'll wait.
Leading the audience to believe. Here, we have a clip, by the way, Dan, if you want to play this supposed fan of mine, since you guys are playing clips over there.
By the way, this was a while ago. He turned on you when he saw that you support trans rights. I know. He spoke ill of you.
No. Even before he actually meets me.
I'm not even mad. I don't care about this guy.
No, well, seemingly you care enough about it that
He brought him up for a quick point. He used him as an example, but we haven't finished that point.
Bro, you're terrified because you know where this is going.
I don't know where this is going, but I want to know.
I have no idea where this is going. This has been a journey.
Well, how about you let me fucking
finish it,
and then we can figure out. We can take the journey
Can
together.
you play this clip, though?
Oh!
So this clip is just an example. Not that you're endorsing him. Not that he's a fan.
Can you play? Dan, I sent you a clip.
I passed it along. It's out of my hands.
It's the
I'll play it, I'll play it, I'll play it.
introduction of this
Yeah,
character onto the stream where he's like, "Who's this guy?"
I'll play it. Yeah.
Pothead or Potman. Is that it? Hey.
I could be on. Are you guys doing interviews? I'm Palestinian. I know I look Jewish.
He doesn't.
Oh, no, we're just streaming.
Israeli. I look like Israeli.
We're just the guy. Normally the answer would be yes, but he's busy right now.
What are you guys doing? What
You're not there.
We're just streaming. It's live stream.
Oh, live streaming?
Yeah.
Dude.
You're not even in this clip, bro. What are you talking about? You're not even present.
Later.
You're out.
What?
You're out playing with swastika swords or something. You're not even in this clip.
Dude, why aren't chat? I think he's showing it on his side. You're not seeing the clip. Yes. Yeah. He's
it's really
he's showing the clip.
okay.
That is the first introduction of this character onto the broadcast, and he doesn't know who the fuck I am. He just sees cameras and goes, "Oh, I would like to do interviews with this person who is famous."
But no, I completely agree. Where the fuck is Hasan in that picture? He doesn't know that it's Hasan's crew, does it? I don't know how Hasan's crew looks like. The fuck? What are you trying to say? What is your point here, Hasan? I don't get it. There's no point right now. I don't understand. Deflection.
That was the whole point. The reason why I showed you that is because he was never a fucking fan. And then when he saw the full extent of my viewpoints, he started calling me the F slur. He's a Sneeko fan.
Hasan, in that clip, he doesn't see you. You're not there.
Ethan, he is a clout chaser and
Fine,
not a
bro.
fan.
I don't care. Let me ask you a question.
I do care because
okay, very good.
I do care because you have made an inference.
Oh my
that is
God,
erroneous.
Dude. You are dragging your feet on.
Okay, erroneous is a drag, cause like, dude, he was hugging you and kissing you and licking your fucking toes and shit, all this fucking shit. Fine. Let's say he hates you too. Doesn't fucking matter, bro. I just want to know. We cannot move on. I am reliving the Leftovers episode again. It's
getting ridiculous. Can we please move on?
They should not be speaking to each other at any point, because this is why nothing. Well, Ethan already is a terrible fucking. Oh God, when he's watching videos, I cannot sit through it because it's hours, just hours. But with them together, it's just fucking God.
That is
circles.
This clip you sent didn't prove me wrong at all.
Circles.
You're not there. And you were never there, Hasan. Okay, let's continue, please.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is an example of someone who I think is anti-Semitic. You probably agree with me on that, but I don't want to put words in your mouth. He's not a fan of yours.
I think, no. I think that guy. Yeah. I mean, from what I've seen, any number of different things I've seen from that dude. I think he's like a right-wing dating coach or something.
Yeah, he is. Dating Money 101, baby. Like and sub. All right, so here he is using the ADL. He accuses me of being in the ADL, and I'll play it. Operation?
Okay.
I don't know, but I heard you survived it, and I heard you survived the Holocaust.
That timeline on that doesn't make a lot of sense.
I heard you're in the ADL, bro.
The ADL? No, I'm not. All right, so he says, I heard you're in the ADL, bro, which, like, obviously is, I perceive that as anti-Semitic.
I don't think you're in the ADL, Ethan, if that's what you're going to say.
Well, you said, and I'll quote a tweet that you made. Okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead. You said, I'll quote, he worked with the ADL to make Zionists a protected class on Twitch. Now, that is an outright lie.
I don't think it's an outright lie.
I worked with the
you took
ADL.
credit over it, didn't you?
Sorry. I worked with the ADL. What does that mean?
Yeah, as in like worked alongside. I don't think you're in the ADL.
That's what you meant when you said I worked with the ADL.
Well, see, then, okay, well, Ethan could actually just do the same thing Hasan was just doing and say, well, and you literally just stack it on, just do the same thing. Well, you said that he was a fan of mine. He's not a fan of mine. He was an active fucking not fan of mine. Well, you said I worked for them. I didn't work for them. Now you're saying I worked alongside them. Well, you tweeted that I worked with them. You know what I mean? You could have done that. But, we'd be still going in circles. But this is right now kind of the same argument.
I worked beside them, just incidentally together. You didn't mean that I worked with them privately to get people banned? Of course not.
No, I do think that.
Didn't you say you choose your words very carefully?
You alongside the ADL.
You just told me briefly ago, you choose your words very carefully, Hasan.
Not always.
Famously, okay, we're walking that back. Sometimes I speak out the side of my mouth when I say you work with the ADL. So. Here you are again repeating the lie with Steiny on video. Go ahead. You had time
constantly come after me when his knows I'm not anti-Semitic and making these inferences that I am, and like partnering with like the ADL and
partnering with the ADL. You want to unpack that one there, buddy?
Yeah. Again, partnering with the ADL. That is precisely what took place. I have
never spoken to the ADL, so what does that mean?
I'm not saying you directed the ADL
Do you know
to take
how
action.
silly you
Well, actually,
look?
you know what? I am kind of saying that. I am implying that you directed the ADL to take action.
Well, that's a defamatory claim that has zero proof. And frankly, it sounds a little Jewish conspiratorial.
If I thought that you worked for the ADL, I wouldn't have
I've
said
not
you worked
spoken
with
to the ADL.
I would have said you worked for the ADL. Now, what's interesting to me, of course, about this is that
and with is still like
for these bands.
Hassan, I do not work with the ADL.
You were a part of the mass smear campaign.
That is not working with the ADL. Would you say that
falsely
I got nothing to do with the ADL? Blame Frogan for doing a racist fucking panel at TwitchCon that became a viral story.
Exactly, yes.
Ethan, just like cracker is not an anti-white term.
Okay,
oh my God, how can you say that? What do you mean? That's Oh, I gotta go pull out the fucking dictionary, huh? Fucking dictionary time. Dictionary time, boys. Define cracker. Let's fucking go, boys. Oh, fuck, I lost my fucking page. Where'd it go? Define cracker. Okay. A thin, and this is cracker. You hear that? Everybody heard that? That's a bad word. Right? Cracker. Right? You can't say that. Cracker. Can't say that. Cracker. No. Can't say that. Cracker. Cracker. What is it? Cracker. All right. What is a cracker? What is a cracker? It's a thin, crispy cracker. And often eaten with cheese and savory toppings. A person or thing that... Cracker. Okay? And in U.S. English, derogatory. Bad. Derogatory statement. I could define derogatory, but I'm not gonna. But cracker. A contemptuous term for a white person or... Cracker. Especially in impoverished white livings in the South, U.S., also called poor white crackers. Okay, so that is what that is. How can you tell me it's not a bad word? That makes no sense.
Ethan, just like cracker is not an anti-white term, except public pressure clearly works on Twitch, and they make erroneous bans when they don't want people coming after them.
They don't want a fucking apocalypse.
Public pressure on numerous instances.
This is what she learned from you.
Everything in your power to push people to bully and harass me, including weaponizing propaganda organizations such as the ADL to get me banned off Twitch because I made a joke.
So she said I weaponized the ADL. You said I partnered with the ADL. You said I worked with the ADL.
That's just unrealistic. That's just not realistic to say that, because it's just not. He didn't. Hey, ADL, go fetch. I said everybody saw it. Everybody saw it.
I mean, I spoke to them. You just meant that we were magically skipping along and happened to just, without even seeing each other, just working together in perfect harmony and love. And by the way, I'm pretty sure you're implying that I worked directly with them on this.
No, I don't. think you worked
you doubled down on
them.
it. You said that you do believe that, and I just want to let you know that that is a
No, I don't think you directly work with them. I think your goals are aligned on this. Yes, and
but then for Mr. Precise Words, say that.
Yeah,
say
exactly. I was going to say
the ADL. Do you understand? You said partnered with the ADL. Me, a Jewish man, you accused without any evidence at all of being partnered with the ADL.
Ethan,
You're now trying to rewrite history and say I said you were working besides them. You are a liar.
What are you talking about?
You are a virulent fucking liar.
Ethan, did you or did you not take ownership over the bans?
Yeah, he did.
I think, yeah, I might have.
But that doesn't mean he worked with the ADL. That is not a smoking gun. That is nothing. That is absolutely... I don't know why he's like... I'm gonna do this because he's fucking stupid. What kind of point was that? There was no point in that at all. He thinks he made a point.
I'm working with the ADL.
Oh shit.
Hey Hasan, can I ask you a question? Are you working with the Neo-Nazi Party of America because they're also anti-Zionist? No, seriously. Are
your things align. That's a good. I like it. I like it. It's fine.
Do you work with them? Are you affiliated with them? Are you partnered? Are you partnered with neo-Nazis? Or do you guys happen to have the same goal and are completely related?
Here's a parallel for you. Have I taken credit for a neo-Nazi anti-Semitic incident that took place? Because if the answer is yes, if neo-Nazis actually engage
swastika sword, baby,
neo-Nazis actually, not like your fucking hallucinations, something that we all agree, like neo-Nazis.
Look, I'm not gonna pretend like the swastika sword is an imagination thing. That you said it when you bought it, that it is the swastika sword. Looks cool, but that's pretty what you call it. You know what I mean? That is you know, you want to watch yourself there, buddy. You know, you bought it. You knew it. You've brought it up several times. You cannot pretend like you don't know what it is and what it has been in the realm of your world.
Anti-Semitic incident.
I'm not saying also that you use it as an actual swastika prop, but you know what it is idealistically in your own mind. It's a funny little hee-hee for you and stuff. You know, but you know, Ethan sees it as an offense, which is whatever on that, you know. It could be a reach, could not, but whatever. That could still be, you know, a little weird neo-Nazi thingy, because you caused it to kind of happen. You gave, or had the ability to give, iDubbbz the sword, which made somebody feel like a neo-Nazi thing was or an anti-Semitic thing was happening, you know what I mean?
I took credit for it and I said, this is awesome. I'm glad that it happened. I made numerous videos so that they would do this. Yes,
I was on the tier list, bro.
In saying that
it was literally targeting me. I was on the tier list. Why wouldn't I respond?
Ethan,
I don't have to be a member of ADL to respond to someone harassing me. Are you fucking
to my words,
dumb?
Please listen to my words.
I'm trying, but it's just fucking lies and
stupid and retardation.
From your perspective, my association as a 10-year
news
of
analyst.
Anti-Semitism. My association from your perspective with anti-Semitism is like something that is so laughable that I don't even know how to describe. Like you're like, oh, it's a swastika sword, but then you admit that it's not a swastika sword. That's how loose this association is. But on the other hand, I can't say that you have worked alongside
that's
the
not what
ADL
you said.
In getting
you said I'm partnered
banned.
with.
That's
Partnered with. You are lying. You are rewriting. You are not taking accountability. You said I'm partnered with the ADL.
Ethan, I can't take accountability for your hallucinations.
Hasan, do you think that the normal, reasonable person watching that will infer that we were just...
Okay, I could give you a reasonable inference of that then or whatever. Look, let's say that you know how everybody calls Trump a neo-Nazi or a white nationalist, but he completely has separated himself from them. You know what I mean? They might have some nationalist tendencies that might actually line up with like nationalism in general, right? But like closing the borders and stuff without being racist, like white nationalists are. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean he's white nationalist. He's just a nationalist. He just cares about the nation. That's it. That's it. He doesn't want fucking open borders and shit like that. He's not saying, oh, close the borders because they're this, that, and the other. No. That's what Hasan is trying to say he's doing, basically, though, is that. And he's not. That's such a weird thing to, like, tie somebody into, like, oh, yeah, you worked in tandem with them. No. You know what I mean? You're saying that's the same thing as, oh, Trump works in tandem with white nationalists because he wants to close the borders, deport people. No, that's not exactly what that is. I see what you're tying in there, but it's not how that works. No. You're just making a very, very big jump to conclusion with that kind of statement.
Just coincidentally working the same, or that I was working directly with them.
What do you think?
What do you think the average person would conclude from saying I'm partnered with the ADL?
What do you think a normal, reasonable person would infer when they hear you,
Bro, you are
Ethan
literally
Klein,
gaslighting me.
make
It's
numerous
so
videos
obvious what you
demanding
meant.
the bans of Twitch streamers, and then after they are banned, you say, I'm glad that they got banned. I take credit for it. What would a normal, reasonable person infer
I was on the
from
tier
that?
list, dude. I was responding to them. It wasn't like a fucking like. It wasn't like I went out of my way to get them banned. I responded to them. I was on the tier
Fucking
list.
circles.
There's been 3 instances, I think, of, in my opinion, very credible accusations of anti-Semitism. You've accused me of hallucinating all 3 now, which is very convenient.
No,
and also,
because they're not credible. We are not in agreement. These are not credible allegations of anti-Semitism. These are hysterical hallucinations of a person who desperately wants all of his critics to be anti-Semites so he can feel comfortable in the unique position that he has created for himself.
I'm so glad this is on record. So you think?
Yeah, I'm glad you. Yes.
So you think that you think a reasonable person would hear you say he's partnered with the ADL? And not think that I was working directly with them?
I think a reasonable person will hear your own words and think that you probably worked directly inside of the ADL.
Have I ever mentioned the ADL?
Didn't even make that inference.
Have I ever mentioned the ADL?
Okay, his typing on Twitter kind of inferred that, but in the sense, you know, you can see it in many different ways. It's just how you take it.
You took credit.
Did I ever mention the ADL, Hasan? Answer the question.
It doesn't matter. You took credit for the ban that the ADL pressured.
Do I ever mention the ADL in my entire fucking career?
Yes. Just
Actually,
now.
I mentioned them once, but I didn't even know what they were, frankly, if you have the thing. It was even... did I ever...
Yeah, it's a clip where you are saying, I did that shit. I'll fucking take credit for it. You know who did that shit? The ADL did. You are taking credit for something the ADL did.
Okay. Oh, fucking gay. What the fuck? Okay, when he means he did that shit, I did that, he means he got those people banned, and I will take credit for that. You know what I mean? But he's saying, all right, they did that, and he took credit for that. And that's not what he said. That is a twist of words. He just twisted up his words massively.
That shit, the ADL did. You are taking credit for something that the ADL did. I'm not even making that inference.
Well,
You're
they attacked
saying,
me.
Which one do you think? What do you think the average person would think in this
silly,
situation?
It does. I don't know what this is.
That you did that.
This is weird.
And it's the ADL's pressure that caused these people to be banned for such a ridiculous,
fucking weird.
not anti-Semitic thing at all.
I was being silly. They attacked me. I responded. Do I know?
I know
who?
Silly.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Well, all right. I guess we can move on.
Well, do I
then.
think
Now
I got
you're
them
being silly.
banned? I don't know. Who knows? You know. I think that
you got a Jewish content creator alongside multiple Arab content creators banned off the platform for 30 days.
There's a reason they call them token,
and then the
my
ADL
friend.
actually reacted.
You spend time
because
being
they
a
saw it as
token, you're
great
gonna get
opportunity.
spent.
Dude.
But it was just silly. You know, fuck them.
You want to cash in on your Jewish friends anymore? Or can we move on?
Am I what?
Would you like to cash in on your Jewish friends more, or can we move on?
Cash in on my Jewish friends.
That's right. Do you know any Jewish people that aren't anti-Zionists?
Yes.
Who?
I'm not going to review. I don't want to. They're normies.
Okay.
I don't want to dox them.
You're lying. You're
No, I'm
surrounded.
not.
Yes,
I'm
you
not
are.
lying.
You're absolutely lying.
Dog, I live in West Hollywood. You think I'm not around Zionist Jews? What are you talking about?
Do you pass Jews on the street? Yes. Are you friends with?
No, I'm friends. Yes.
Okay.
I am.
I don't believe
and
you.
they've treated me with much more dignity than you have, as a matter of fact.
Well, yeah, because they're not on the
Surprisingly
receiving
enough.
end of
We
an
can have a more
insane
normal
fucking
conversation.
harassment
I can have a more normal
campaign.
conversation with
Why
them
wouldn't they?
than you, seemingly.
All right, so you think that
They would most likely
just to
laugh
recap
at all of this.
Just to recap here, so we can move on. I mean, did the random Zionist Jews that are treated you so kindly, did they have CPS show up to their house or skulls sent to their house?
Ethan, I didn't do that.
Ethan.
I didn't say you did that.
I don't know why you're bringing that up.
I know you don't, but
that
you're
has
acting
nothing to do with me.
Part
I'm
of
not
your
in
shtick,
support of
Hasan, is
that.
acting obtuse when you're caught in the corner.
Okay. All right. You've dominated the conversation so far. I think we should get back to some stuff that
I agree. Let's just summarize.
No. Look, can we just get back to
this is
Israel
quick.
Palestine,
It's
please?
very
Because
quick.
like you
I
see
just
the
want to put a cap
genocide.
on this. Just a cap.
and making these
you're
inferences
doing the
that
thing
I
that
am,
I'm so
and
critical of you on.
partnering
okay?
with like the ADL and
You said so. Just to put a cap on this, and we'll move on. You said I am quote partnered with the ADL, which you now claim was just a you didn't mean that I was working with them. You mean that we had the same goal. Okay, very good. We'll see how that plays. Go ahead. What's your question?
Okay.
Okay.
You okay?
It's interesting because you're currently doing the thing that I'm criticizing you on, where you are looking at a situation that you recognize is a genocide, and your only consideration and your only concern.
That's not my only concern. I care about
around-
multiple things, my friend.
Revolves. Yes, you can, but these are really stupid things to care about. Ethan.
I mean, that's easy for you to say. You're the one being accused of it. Let's just let's ask the accused how serious their crime is. Fucking brilliant.
Ethan.
O.J. Simpson, do you think that this is a serious court
Do you
case?
think that
No, I don't. Well, fucking there it is. Let's let him free.
Do you think that the Sabra Hummus's shit tier is akin to O.J. Simpson killing someone?
No, obviously not. You're being obtuse
Then why
again.
are you bringing up stupid fucking
Because you're accused.
parallels?
You are saying that the accused, right, can dictate how serious the accusations are.
Okay. All right. Ethan.
I'm
You
partnered
have
with
in
the ADL.
past-
Remember what you
have
said.
in the past talked about your pro-Palestinian bona fides. You have
What do you mean
talked
bona
about how you
fides?
gave
Can you-
my fundraiser. What?
Sorry, what do you mean by bona fides?
Like you've claimed that you are a stalwart ally of the Palestinian cause.
Correct.
You tried to also say this to Sam Cedar as well.
Mm-hmm.
You brought forward the fact that you had given $6,500 in your context puke
Mm-hmm.
that you did as a further indication that you are pro-Palestinian. Even though you then turned around and actually criticized additional fundraisers that had taken place, like the Creators for Palestine charity that generated $1.3 million, including the fundraiser that you initially had given $6,500 to as a reason for why you were such a staunch ally. Why did you turn around and say that pro-Palestinian fundraisers are actually completely irrelevant in the grand scheme of things and completely useless? Do you think that pro-Palestinian charities are simply there to make yourself feel like you're pro-Palestine? Do you feel like $6,500 was enough for you to spend the rest of the year actively deplatforming pro-Palestinian content creators?
I'll answer your question.
Right.
So I claimed when talking about, now, by the way, this is something I criticize you for, which is, being obtuse, mischaracterizing arguments, and basically just being a prolific liar. So
right,
here's
that's what
the conversation was about.
Believing that
right?
it was going to be something like that.
I was talking about how, when you're talking about activism, raising.
I'm already gonna beat him to the punch. I just say it because like any form of fundraising really never hits the mark. I would say it's not completely useless. You know what I mean? But like it's like a Band-Aid on a fucking big ass cut, a bigger cut. You know what I mean? Something you can't Band-Aid. You know? That's how that is. That's what that is. So yeah.
Money isn't the most important thing because it can only do so much. There's other ways to do effective activism, like protesting, et cetera, working with Palestinian organizations. So I'm just saying, my point was not that.
But you wanted me to be deplatformed
Let me
as a
finish.
virulent anti-Semite, and I've done all of those things.
My point was that not that raising money is bad or dumb or pointless, as you erroneously claim I said. My point was that it's not the most effective thing in the world, and there's other things. It's probably like the least effective form of
doing something. Yeah,
is
is more. Is actually just doing anything.
I don't think that's the case, and I don't think that the Palestinians that
what's not the case?
Those,
what I said or what I claim?
No, your claim is wrong.
Okay, that's fine.
In terms of the fundraisers not being important.
That's fine.
So we've established that you claim to be pro-Palestine, and yet you've spent all of the genocide coverage criticizing
attacking people that harass me,
fundraising, creating, working with Palestinian organizations.
I never said it's not important.
Interviewing Palestinians from Gaza.
Hasan, being an advocate for Palestine does not absolve you of criticism. Stop with the silliness.
Claiming that they are anti-Semitic. No, this does not. because your criticisms are ridiculous. My
Well,
point
I
I'm
mean,
trying
that's
to make
kind of up
here
to other people
is
to
that
decide at this
your
point.
criticisms are in your own mind. Like you have hallucinated an alternative
By the way,
reality.
gaslighting, anti-Semitic trope. This is what dog whistles are. You whistle to other people, and it's subtle enough that you
Ethan,
have
people
plausible
being mean to you is not
deniability, so that when you get
anti-Semitism.
accused of being anti-Semitic, you can call the accuser crazy, which is exactly what you're
Ethan,
doing. You are a
Ethan,
fucking anti-Semite,
Ethan.
and you've been caught out 3
Ethan.
different times, calling me crazy for very viable, very credible examples of anti-Semitism that you should at least be able to admit are at least not insane. Maybe a misunderstanding, but not insane. But no, according to you, they're all hallucinations. So go ahead and tell me why you're not dog whistling.
Yes, because people having an issue with your statements and with your coverage on, as a prominent content creator with a relatively progressive audience, your coverage has entirely focused on
wrong.
your own personal feelings.
Not entire.
And a lot of misplaced paranoia from people who are
There you go,
criticizing
dog whistle.
You literally think.
Can we get
that
a whistle
people
soundbite every
criticizing
time he
you are
calls me
not
paranoid or
liking you.
hallucinating?
Hasan just explained himself as well. Like, in completion, all of it. There's nothing different between them at that point. This has kind of been my point forever. You know what I mean? They're the same fucking coin, just 2 sides. That's it. 2 sides. I'm holding the same coin, though. It's insane.
Is anti-Semitism.
You got a
That's not
whistle?
the case. I used to like you. I don't know anymore. And
You again, the same thing could be said about Hasan from him, and
I don't think it's
It's
because of
valid.
anti-Semitism.
I definitely
didn't
don't like you.
Anti-Semitism.
Let me
podcast with
stand
you
on
for 2
business and say
years.
I think you're a terrible person and a liar, and I don't like you at all.
I know. I still wish you well. I do. I wish you well, and I really do.
I wish
hope.
everybody well. Everybody, be well.
No,
all right,
not
let's
it.
move on. You got it. You want any more? Call me crazy or hallucinating? Is that all you
I
got?
don't even need to do that. I think you're doing that all on your own.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. So do you want to tell me what is your evidence that I work with or talk to or have any association with at all with Destiny?
Oh, okay. I thought he was gonna use ADL.
What?
Again. I was like, okay, there's one for that.
What? What? The guy
no,
that I talk
had
about
to-
fucking obsessively 100 times a day? That is like basically like the Antichrist, the Lord Voldemort in my community? Yeah, you accuse me of working with him, knowing him, talking to him. What is your evidence for that?
Okay, because I'll give context. Every time like Ethan has a clip or something from, or even in like during the content nuke stuff, he's just like, it's just a bunch of Destiny clips out of context and this and that. He just probably got that clip from Destiny. Oh, this, that, Destiny. Because I guess that's an easy way to throw out, you know what I mean, like just, what is it, the claim or whatever. It's just, oh no, it's got to be something Destiny, you know. Destiny's fawning over me again.
Thank you for asking.
Oh, you're very
Not
welcome.
only is there video footage of you corresponding with someone in your Discord that literally aligns perfectly with Destiny's own Discord off.
And people can't, like, you can't work with a person that works with a person.
Offering clips for you to pull.
That sounds like a stretch.
You've also used used clips that are unlisted called Hamasabi
Yeah.
when making arguments
a
about
fuck?
my virulent anti-Semitism.
Who gives a fuck?
From
I pulled a
unlisted
clip.
link that came from a Destiny fan account.
So that's your
But
proof that I work with Destiny.
None of that is relevant.
Okay.
What's relevant is your constant coordination with Destiny's podcast co-host Dan Saltman, who you featured on your context nuke. So yeah,
Did I feature
I
him
don't
in
think
my
it's that
content?
ridiculous of
My
a fucking assertion to make.
Well, did he actually watch it? I thought he said he wasn't gonna watch it. I don't know.
Especially when
don't remember what it was.
considering the fact that you have been corresponding with Dan Saltman, and you did, and he is Destiny's podcast co-host, and the what does he call himself? The general of the Hezbollah, I think that's what they call themselves, the Taliban and the Hezbollah. Their mass
How the
harassment
fuck would I
operation
know?
that they engage in. So yeah, I think that is not a ridiculous fucking claim to make at all.
It's actually insane, and it's a really convenient way of discrediting me when I've never spoken to,
No, I think you're
worked
doing
with,
enough
talked
to
about
discredit
Destiny
yourself
in my
all on your own.
life.
I don't need to bring
It's
that
a
up.
really nice way of you. You know what? I think you're hallucinating, buddy. I think you are. Oh, you pulled a meme from his subreddit once, and
No,
there was a guy in your Discord that's also in his Discord. I think you're hallucinating.
I didn't say any of those things.
You sound fucking unhinged, dude.
You fucking
are you crashing
unhinged.
out, Hasan?
Ethan, I didn't.
Hasan, are you
that.
crashing out?
I gave you.
Do you have friends who are aware
reason.
of the condition and can help you get the help you need?
Okay, Ethan.
You're delusional.
You featured Destiny's podcast.
I said he discovered the IP ban. Is
correspond
that not
with.
true? I said Dan Saltman discovered the IP ban. That's all I said. I didn't endorse. I didn't. All I said is he discovered the IP ban. Is that true? Is that materially true?
I don't think
it
so.
is. It is.
I think someone in Destiny's community did, but it's fine.
How is that an endorsement?
He did the thing. He did the thing.
Ethan, are you claiming that
is this
you
what
don't
you
have
do
direct
whenever you're trying to
correspondence with
avoid Ethan? Hassan, are you hallucinating?
Ethan,
Hassan?
do you not correspond with Destiny's podcast co-host Dan Saltman?
I've talked to Dan Saltman, but also I don't think that that's Destiny, is it?
Yeah, no, that's just his podcast co-host and is perfectly.
So fucking what? That's all I gotta say. So fucking what? You're best friends with fucking Dan Clancy. You know what I mean? Who's fucking weird and annoying too. Fucks your platform up and shit. You know what I mean? What? Want me to be negative because you're working with him? What?
Be aligned with him and uses his community to brigade. And also has literally
I could use the
tried
same
to
arguments.
blackmail people in Destiny's
I
own
don't really
community
fucking care
for
because that's not
literally
Destiny, is it?
unearthing sex crimes that he did.
Man, you
Do
are
you feel
really
like that's a good
hallucinating.
person to align with?
I'm not
That you now
endorsing
openly
him.
admit.
I'm not endorsing him at all. I just said I've spoken to him.
No, yeah, you're not endorsing him. You're just getting
Have
information
you ever
from him
spoken to somebody
use.
you don't endorse? I mean, what kind of silly bullshit are we doing here?
Certainly.
Well, there you go.
Certainly.
Don't
Yeah,
endorse. I'm
dude.
speaking to one right
Certainly.
now.
Talk to Dan Saltman. You're fucking outed as a Destiny's best friend.
Ethan, you're the one who admitted that just now.
I said I've
Also
spoken with
brought
Dan
forward-
Saltman, not that I'm a Destiny collaborator, which is what you claim, which is an outright pathetic, provably wrong lie. And this is part of your disinformation campaign to delegitimize my points
I don't
without
think I need
ever
to
having to
delegitimize you
address
by
them.
associating
And
you
isn't
with
that
Destiny.
convenient? You never have to address anything I say because you can just say, Ethan's friends with Destiny. Ethan's hallucinating.
Ethan, I don't
Hasan?
think I need to. I didn't bring up Destiny. You did.
Yeah,
and also,
because you lied about me for 2 years working with them.
2 years.
That's right. Hasan, listen.
Ethan, this is kind of embarrassing
Year and a half.
to admit, but I defended you both to my community and in general because I thought that you were a lot more open-minded until
What have we
pretty much
disagreed on?
The December
What have we disagreed
of
on?
2024.
I'm sorry.
What?
What am I not open-minded about? What have we disagreed on, Hasan, other than me criticizing you and your friends? What have I said against the Palestinian people? Go ahead. What do we disagree on?
What we are disagreeing on is what you choose to focus on.
Does that seem
and
significant?
What you think is the major point of contention here.
Defend it.
That's first of all, I'm. What I choose to focus on is certainly something you can critique.
A little frivolous.
But does that justify like lying about me continually for a year and a half just because you don't like where I'm focused? That seems immaterial.
Lying about what?
About me being a Destiny fan, about hallucinating, sweeping for your anti-Semitic friends, lying about context, saying that my video's out of context without watching it. Hasan, take your time.
Do you feel like your video wasn't out of context?
Absolutely
wasn't a clip
not.
compilation of a 2-hour sequence of out of context clips?
You want to do this? What's out of context?
Okay.
Name one thing. Go ahead, read the chat. Someone will send you on Discord.
No. I have it readily available.
Well, I'll wait.
One of the major points that you made that I've seen through other people's coverage of it so far is that I deny rapes happening on October 7. Okay? That I deny rapes happening on October 7. There's a clip of you when you first encounter that statement where you are actually understanding of my position until your wife stops you and says, that's inappropriate. You literally say, oh, he's saying the likelihood of rapes happening does not justify genocide, which you agree a genocide is happening. Ever since then, though, months later, you still chose
Her
to
name is
use that
Hila, by
clip
the way,
that is
Hasan.
14
I don't
seconds
know
long
why
out
you
of
refer to her
context.
as my wife. I find that a little chauvinistic, frankly. You know who she is. You know her well. You've begged for Teddy Fresh from her many times. So, like, yeah, you know who she is. You've written her emails
Hila.
asking for clothing. Her name is Hila.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so
yeah,
why don't
that's
you say
fine.
that?
Okay.
Who goes, oh, your wife? Like, she's not. She has no. She's just like, oh.
I wasn't. Can you respond to what
Yes,
I was saying?
absolutely. With great pleasure, I will respond.
Why is it that
Because,
you
Hasan,
initially understood
that was
the full
one
context until Hila stopped you
Very
and
good,
said,
he
no,
said
no,
it.
no.
I'll answer. Would you like me to answer? That's one example of many. Seeing your response in the totality of all the responses shows that you do deny the rapes that happened on October 7th. In fact,
the totality of all my responses.
you had promised me, and I know you would never lie to me, that you would watch the context puke with me. So why don't we pull up that bit there, and we can see how out of context it is.
Boom. Do it.
Great. Someone pulling that, Dan? How you doing? I'm waiting for the link. You good?
Am I? Oh yeah, I'm great.
I'm great.
I don't
Great.
think this is going the way you perceived it to be going.
Sure. I mean, you're reading your chat. Do you think that's the
I'll
most
be
accurate
honest with
way
you.
to...
I was gonna be. I was thinking about being a lot more.
Well, like, if
stern
you read
initially,
Ethan's
but
chat,
this
you'll
has turned
see.
into the last conversation that we had,
thing.
where I am trying to gently nudge you in the direction of sanity.
Ethan, I
just
want you
gotta
to really
go right
understand.
now.
You're crazy. You're crashing out. You're hallucinating, my friend. Come sit over here. You know what I mean? Ignore the swastika. Ignore the accusations of working with the ADL with no credibility. Ignore the tier list with fucking Ben Shapiro and Ethan. Come sit here. You're hallucinating. Oh, thank you so much for, you know what? Thank you, Hasan. That's so kind of you. How fucking genuine of you to take off the baby gloves. You fucking liar.
I mean, this is. This
You
is
are
the
a
baby
prolific
gloves.
liar, bro. Where's the link? Just control F for.
The reason, for the record, the reason why I don't like to bring Hila into the conversation is because I'm addressing my concerns with you, and I don't think that it's appropriate for me to, you know.
Yeah, but you let your
extend-
friends.
Well, you
He
just blend
he
that
let-
in. That's a
to
little
other
silly
people.
considering.
he lets his own friends talk about Hila, not like Ethan. I mean Hassan's friends talk about Hila as if she's like an actual evil fucking villain. They say that she's a baby killer and all this shit. She's an IDF pig, and you know what I mean. Like you're born in a place, and you have, or you know what I mean. Like you live in a place, and you have to follow the rules of the place, and you do the things the place has to do. That doesn't mean you're killing babies or anything, too. Just because a part, you know, like maybe there was, you know, we kill fucking babies. Our military does. You know what I mean? Like I said, we bombed fucking in part of Gaza already with Trump, and he said he wasn't gonna do shit. So what? I mean, like, nobody's fucking free from this. It's a stupid statement either way.
And you're like, well, actually, it was Hila who influenced your opinion, the evil IDF lady. Anyway.
Okay. While we're waiting for the clip.
No, I got it. Deny the violent rapes that took place. That is way beyond the pale.
Hold on, I'm grabbing another soda, but I'm hearing you. There is one instance in captivity.
Chair react.
That we have.
I'm not gonna let you chair react to me, buddy. You grab that Dr. Pepper. I'll wait.
No, I said I'm listening to you. Don't worry. I was just grabbing another soda. Go ahead.
On the pale.
Is that there is one instance in captivity. Put a Hamas headband on me?
I sure did.
There is one instance in captivity that we have actually gotten verifiable evidence on. Beyond that, the systematized mass rapes that Hamas dealt on October 7, not a single bit of that has been verified. And people still run with it over and over and over again.
Many young people who were simply attending a music festival. Women were horribly raped.
I can't see myself, by the way,
As
if you're
I
showing
said,
my
then,
You're
reaction.
giggling. You're
Israel
giggling.
had
It's so
a right,
funny.
Has a right to defend
No, I'm not
itself.
giggling.
What
I'm
rapes
sure
did
are.
Hamas do? Bro, what rapes did Hamas do? What are you talking
What
about?
rapes did
The
Hamas
Stop
do?
Anti-Semitism account that considered me to be anti-Semite of the week has also been hallucinating rapes once again, doing rape fantasies once again because they're fucking mentally ill.
Hamas has
You know,
committed.
That's something you go to a lot. You notice that? Call
What?
people mentally ill. Find that odd. Probably should revise that. I don't know if that's kosher for leftist values.
Horrific acts of
I'm
sexual
not exactly,
violence
you know, I'm not exactly doing a lot of stuff that's kosher for leftist values in
okay,
general.
so
I don't really.
so you have no problem weaponizing mental health. I
Yeah,
don't.
when someone is hallucinating, I think it's appropriate to say that.
By your
yeah.
authority, I will decide who's hallucinating. Hasan.
And girls.
Watch this.
horrific acts of
Ethan,
sexual
can you,
violence.
Ethan,
And took
Hasan, I am so sorry. You promised that we would watch this. I pulled it up. Now sit silently and enjoy.
Okay, but I got the
Hamas
point. You're
has
saying that
committed
like
horrific
you're
acts
showing
of
clips
sexual
of me.
violence
You're showing clips of
and
me
took
saying that
Women
someone
and girls,
is.
men and boys
Wait, what?
slaughtered after enduring sexual violence. The deadliest day for the Jewish people.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th. Like that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much.
What?
So that's the other part of this problem that many people that can't contend with. Like,
I can't believe how quickly leftists go from believe all women to Pixar didn't happen.
There you go, Hasan. What do you got?
Pixar didn't happen.
That's
great commentary, by the way. Okay.
I mean,
so,
it's pretty apt.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
You did actually. I'm surprised. You did actually show my findings on the UN committee report that came out.
The one that you misrepresent continually. That you fucking continually lie about the conclusion.
Report. Wait, what did I misrepresent about the
Go
UN
ahead. You tell
preliminary
me.
report?
Tell me what it said.
The UN preliminary report was not an investigative report. Like, for example, the investigative report that came out about Israel's systematized sexual assaults that was 49 pages long.
Horrible. What a horrible thing that was.
Yeah.
Unironically.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Just unacceptable.
The level of evidence in a preliminary report is only enough to actually create an actual investigation. The problem is Israel has denied an actual investigation to take place. Israel has told the United Nations that they are not allowed to do an actual investigation and to simply listen to what they have to say. Now, not only is Israel...
There are literally women who have said, I was raped.
Do you feel like the Israeli government lies?
Do you?
A lot?
I mean, all governments lie. I'm not going to defend Israel, though.
I agree.
You said,
I agree.
You said,
but Israel,
there's
Israel
women that
certainly
come out and
lies a
said,
lot,
I
right?
was raped.
What?
There are women on the record, on video, saying I was raped.
Like you're saying, wait, you're saying there are multiple women that are on the record saying I was raped.
Yes.
There is, as far as I understand,
well, you should
one
look,
instance
well, of
in
course,
captivity.
As far
It
as
is
you
not
understand, because you don't give a
systematized
fuck
mass
about
rape
the reality
directed by
of
Hamas.
it.
What?
Well, of course, that's as far as you can conclude because you don't give a fuck about the truth. You just want to do propaganda,
Ethan,
remember?
Ethan.
Hasan, please, calm down.
Okay.
You're getting worked up.
Getting worked up.
Whoa.
Behaving in such a childish manner when we are actually talking about finally some serious stuff. Okay?
Well, you know. Okay.
Okay. In terms of the UN preliminary report and the findings, okay, there is a clear-cut lack of evidence for any forensic examination to take place due to the incompetence of the Israeli government and specifically the organization Zakah that spent most of its time in the immediate aftermath of October 7 taking bodies out of body bags and putting them into Zakah branded body bags. This was reported by Haaretz as well. They polluted the evidence pool. Okay? That's number one. Number two, numerous people that came out and offered eyewitness testimony have since then been discredited, also according to Haaretz reporting.
Okay.
Which article?
I mean,
what's
I can't
the
pull it up right
Haaretz
now.
article that
Google
accuses victims of sexual assault of lying about it? Go ahead and link me that one. And by the way, while you look for that,
no, not victims of sexual assault, Ethan. I'm using my words very carefully.
Right.
Not
of course,
victims
I remember
of
you do
sexual
that.
assault. Not victims of sexual assault. Eyewitness testimony initially provided that led people to believe that there were
Show me
sexual
that.
assaults that were taking place.
Show me the source.
Were then discredited.
Show me the source. By the way, Hasan, while you look for that, I'm assuming that you're quoting the UN Representative Secretary General on Sexual Violence and Conflicts report, right? This is one everyone refers to. Now, are you aware how these kind of papers work? They do a very precise conclusion at the end that summarizes the main thesis and points driven home in the article. That's what the conclusion is. Let me read it for you. Overall, based on the totality of information gathered from multiple and independent sources at different locations, there are reasonable grounds to believe that conflict-related sexual violence occurred at several locations across the Gaza periphery, including in the form of rape, gang rape, during the October 7th, 2023 attack. Credible circumstantial information which may be indicative of some forms of sexual violence, including genital mutilation, sexualized torture, cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment, was also gathered.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So I'm gonna walk you
Are
through
they
this real quick.
hallucinating?
No. So no, you just don't know what words mean. So credible circumstantial evidence. Do you know what that means?
It means that there's, yeah, of course.
Credible circumstantial evidence is not a substitute for forensic evidence. Credible
That's why I said Piker didn't happen, bro.
Is not
You need
enough
rape
to
kits.
prosecute.
Hasan needs
Credible
rape kits.
circumstantial evidence is not enough.
Piker
to
didn't happen, right?
Prosecute rape, which is precisely the reason why the Israeli prosecutors themselves have said
Credible
that
what?
in the absence of a singular victim coming out, and also with all of the forensic evidence that is not enough.
Piker didn't happen, right?
Credible.
Hasan needs
Credible
rape kits.
circumstantial evidence is not
Credible.
enough.
Piker didn't happen, right?
Prosecute rape, which is precisely the reason why the Israeli prosecutors themselves have said that in the absence of a singular victim coming out, and also with all of the forensic evidence that has been tarnished already.
Show me evidence for anything you're saying.
What?
That's not. Show me evidence for anything you're claiming that isn't some unhinged freak on Twitter. Believe all
This is
women,
not an
hey?
unhinged freak on Twitter.
Hey, are we
This is,
believing all
again,
women
there's also
unless
an
they're
article that
Israeli?
you can-
Right after October 7th Hamas attack in Israel, Zaka, the disaster victim identification volunteers, were among the first civilians responding on the scene. Zaka is an Israeli rescue and recovery organization primarily staffed by ultra-Orthodox Jewish volunteers, known for their work in collecting human remains for proper burial according to Jewish law.
So circumstantial evidence is the credible. I guess circumstantial evidence is the indirect evidence that does not, on its face, prove a fact in the issue, but gives a rise to logical interference that the fact exists. Well, it would still be used in court properly, right? Yes. Like, you could still probably use it if it's credible. You know what I mean?
I think what happened is a lot of what happened is that well, obviously you don't rape
I'll
someone
send
and
you
then
the
keep them
PBS
alive, right? So
article
most of them were
on-
murdered, and a lot of the forensic evidence.
I'm sending Dan the PBS article about how two debunked accounts of sexual violence on October 7th fueled the global dispute over Israel-Hamas war. This is from May 22nd, 2022. This is about the witness testimony that was discredited. Okay.
But so even if one account was discredited, there's many.
No, it's not one account. It's two accounts. But the rest
There's
of the
way more than two accounts. What am I? What? Hey, Hasan, you know what you're doing? You're like, this girl lied about being raped, therefore all these women need to be questioned. That's actually what you're doing. You're saying Pixar didn't happen. I don't believe
Ethan,
women if they're Israeli.
Can you point me to actual to victims that came out?
Yes.
Because as far as I understand, Israeli police have asked victims and witnesses to testify about Hamas and sexual violence in the aftermath of October 7. And it seems like their investigations were inconclusive because by the admission of the Israeli prosecution,
Show me evidence of anything you're
that
saying.
They openly said that there were no victims that came out.
Yeah, let me guess. You read it on Haaretz.
You don't wait. Do you think that Haaretz is not a credible institution
it is, but
of
you
journalism
just,
at this point?
No, but you guys lean on that. You just lie about what it says because
What do
it
you mean,
sounds
you
credible.
guys? Who is you guys?
You and all of your fucking dumbass cohorts that do the same typical rhetorical tools to just say whatever the fuck you want without ever having to back it up or knowing what you're talking about in the least bit. So show me the evidence. Haaretz boy.
I sent the
swastika boy.
debunked narratives, and also here is the Israeli prosecutor Moran Gitz has acknowledged that 15 months after the events of October 7, 2023, Israel has still not identified any victims in which a case can be brought against an alleged perpetrator of a sexual attack.
They're all dead.
The admission is in line with the complete lack of any credible evidence regarding incidents of sexual violence, which is particularly notable when these claimed. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this foundation is, but there is news reporting on this. I don't know why someone sent me this link of this.
Do you think what is your point? What you said doesn't change anything. You're talking about. Do you think that they raped people and then didn't kill them?
You said that there are victims. Can you give me the names of the victims?
Yes.
I will. First of all, I am not in the business of denying rape.
Are.
If there are victims that have come forward in this process,
I will play it for you.
As I've said, there was an instance of sexual assault that took place in captivity, and it was not the systematized rape that was directed by Hamas, as the New York Times' erroneous reporting that did not meet its own standard, its own editorial standard, as a matter of fact, written by a person who literally was taken off the editorial board, taken off the actual paper for some of her insane tweets about Gaza. None of these, there's a lot of stories surrounding this, but I'm not in the business of fucking denying rape. So if you have
only if there's
credible evidence, please present it.
I don't know if my audio changed there.
That I'm wrong.
Test.
Give me the names.
yeah. There's a video. Hold on.
Is the video from Screams Without Violence? Is that where you're Is that where you're gonna present?
No, it's not from that. There's one recently of a woman testifying. I think it was either in the UN or to Congress. She's sitting on a bench. She's talking to a mic, and she's speaking in English. Yeah, we'll get there. But I mean, what's your problem with Sheryl Sandberg's documentary?
Sheryl Sandberg has also been accused of sexual harassment herself, but outside of that,
what the fuck does that have to do with what's written in her documentary?
Her documentary is basically the unsubstantiated claims that some of which were directly found to be incorrect. But not only is it unsubstantiated claims, it's just a recycling of the same.
Rape has been a tool of war since war has been a thing. I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying it's
article that the New York Times wrote.
I don't think ever gonna stop.
It's one of
those things. It's a defiling thing to do.
We're having this conversation.
One of the worst things you could do to defile people.
Act like you
know what I mean?
About sexual violence
an enemy
against Israelis. Meanwhile, one of the hostages that actually was returned in the early stages did get raped by an Israeli fitness instructor.
You know,
I have not seen you talk about that. I have not seen you talk about the Israeli
about
pro-rape
a crime that an Israeli did unrelated to the conflict?
Yeah, that's
there's something that I know.
That's a reach, because
Israel had a January 6th style.
We could say that one of the survivors from the fucking, I don't know, any incident was also raped by an Israeli thing. I mean, or an American person or something. You know, we could do that with anything. I mean, chances of anything happen to a set of people over all time, anything can happen. So that doesn't mean anything. Keep it to the October 7th conflict.
A bunch of rabid
not just because she came from the conflict, went back to Israel and something happened.
The prosecutor's office and forcibly with guns took out 6 concentration camp prison guards from the Sede Taman facility that had actually raped numerous Palestinians on camera.
Are you done grandstanding?
Footage,
here's a victim
one that they raped to death.
Are you done? Here's a victim you asked for. Here we go. This is from, I think there was an even more recent one than this, but where's the audio? Fuck. Hold on, let me unmute.
Unable to move and had to ask for permission to use the bathroom. In that house, I was sexually assaulted by the Hamas terrorists who had guarded me. He forced me to go to the shower and entered the room, pointed his gun at me. He was breathing heavily and had a monstrous beast-like face. He meticulously planned his assault, scheming and waiting for the moment to have his way. He kept asking me private sexual questions while sitting next to me in his underwear, lifting my shirt, touching me, and constantly asking me when my period would be over.
Sorry, just to butt in here. Is she lying yet or no? Is she lying or hallucinating?
Ethan, have I ever said that rapes did not take place?
Well, you see,
he definitely
personal
downplays it
in captivity.
He's definitely downplaying
in captivity.
Kind of, yeah. Yes.
Over.
You're doing it right now.
What do you mean?
I know
kind
exactly
of?
what he was planning to do.
You literally
and yet I couldn't do
featured-
anything to prevent
Wait, pause it for a second.
No.
I was
Listen to what she has
utterly
to say,
helpless.
Hassan.
When the
Ethan,
assault
I
was
don't
over-
Hassan, don't
disagree with
silence
this.
her.
You
Let her fucking
literally
talk.
wasn't
mentioned
even
me.
allowed
No, because you're acting like this never happened, that it's
You're
exaggerated, that
mentioning
everybody's
my
lying,
acknowledgement
that
in the
Israelis
video
are just
that you
inherently
played.
evil monsters that are responsible for everything bad that's ever
Ethan,
happened.
you
Listen to her.
acknowledged-
Cry
Ethan,
or to be
you
sad.
Listen to her
know.
words.
I had no one
Ethan-
to comfort me and was forced to act nice
Listen to
the person who had
my
just
words.
sexually
Listen to this
assaulted
victim.
me
Show her
in the
some
most
respect, Hassan.
horrifying way.
Oh, it's so gross
Not a
the way
day
you're
goes
doing
by
this.
that I don't think about
Yeah, it's
what
gross.
that terrible man did to
It
me.
is. You're
We were held
you're
in such
Show
definitely
respect,
a
bro.
monster, brother. That is fucking
no person
gross.
should ever be subjected
Dan,
to
pull
such
the
brutal
fucking
and
plug on this.
ruthless
Holy
treatment.
shit.
Now,
You really have no problem speaking over a rape victim when they're Israeli.
Dude, you don't give a fuck about rape. Look, what are you doing? Look at what you're doing. I never said that no one ever got sexually assaulted in
First
captivity
male
in the
rape
hands
survivor of
of
Hamas on
militant.
October
I
7th.
literally said in the video,
A man who was stripped naked and raped by Hamas on October 7th has revealed for the first time how he was spat on and humiliated as his murderous rapist laughed. The victim, only identified as Initial D, is the first man to speak about the sexual assault he and others experienced when Hamas elite the Nakba unit massacred, kidnapped, and raped innocent people enjoying the Supernova music festival. They pin you down to the ground. You try to resist. They take off your clothes, laugh at you, humiliate you, spit on you. Said the victim, who's hold on.
Okay, listen to me. Listen to my
They
words.
touch my
very
private
carefully,
parts, they
because
rape
you're not going through this in a dignified way, and I think it's very gross. What you're doing here is simply weaponizing
Bro,
a victim
you are so
as a
pathetic.
fucking prop. A
How?
victim that I also
What?
acknowledged.
No. No, you did not. You said you've only acknowledged it was like one in captivity. There was one in captivity. I think there was one instance in captivity where someone was raped. He just explained how, that one man just explained how he was, and several others together were raped and spat on. That's just one instance of a guy saying multiple people at once were being, taken advantage of. You downplay it. You continually downplay it. Now you're not exactly even going back and taking back your words. I really don't know what you're doing. It's still a form of downplaying, but you're backtracking. It's a mixture of that. I just don't understand exactly what I could call that. What we could name that. But it is weird.
Violence.
And you know
In
I
new
acknowledged
footage,
it because you posted it in your video that
Here it
you
is.
just showed me.
Here's the clip.
Reveals that sexual assault and rape was a regular component of the life as a hostage in Gaza.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happened on October 7th.
Hassan, maybe you would like to call her a liar. Please, go right ahead.
You're doing it matter if fucking rapes happened on October 7th.
There are dozens of testimonies from witnesses, most of who
Dozens
were in
of
hiding
testimonies.
and heard.
Oh,
or
yeah.
Ethan,
Are you denying that?
You said in the beginning, I'm going to use my words very carefully
there's
here.
more
In the
stories
beginning,
coming
you
out.
said
There's
on
a
October
UN
7th,
report.
there were numerous victims of sexual violence.
Right.
That you said, not me, you said that there were numerous victims of sexual violence that actually came forward. So I ask you for names.
It took some for a while. Like, what do you fucking mean?
Because
wait, hold on,
I
hold
never
on.
said that
You're
there
saying
was no
only-
sexual
wait, what?
assault that took place.
Wait,
I,
you're
as a
saying they
matter of
have to
fact,
have been on
looked
October.
at that report.
Yeah, I don't understand his fucking argument. It's so fucking stupid. He's trying to say that if it wasn't on October 7th, then it didn't happen. If it happened after that, and any other point of this whole hostage taking, that takes a long time to get those back. Aren't we still trying to get some of those hostages back? What the fuck are you talking about? They could still, right now, be being assaulted as we speak. Is that not unbelievable? What are you talking about, Hasan? There's no way. They're still victims of October 7th. That's it.
I looked at that.
That's
same
fucking
UN report
stupid,
and
bro.
said that there was valid, credible, firsthand testimony on sexual assault.
I
that
wish
took
you
place
had the
in
energy
captivity.
you have
That was not on October
for
7th.
the Israelis raping people. As I wish you had the same energy for the fucking Palestinian terrorists raping people. I wish you had the same energy.
Because I can't invent rapes. You have not given me any names. What
I'm
are you
showing
talking
you
about?
people and
What?
names.
What do you mean? What's with my
To
people
deny
and
the
names?
suffering
I don't
and trauma of
understand.
the victim.
If there are
Just
victims,
because you need your heroes.
still
You know what?
believe women.
This is not going anywhere. Let's just move on. Yeah, let's just.
What do you mean? You can't just
I mean, I
let's
gave
just
you
move
two.
on from this. This is a
No, let's move on, because you're
major
so fucking
point of contention.
stupid to hear this little
You
dick
have
suck saying
falsely
words. Like,
exhausted.
what?
As a rape denier, when you yourself, the
I'm
one
about to start
evidence,
mouthing.
You deny
the
mass
one
rapes happened, and you're doing it right now.
The instance of sexual
I showed
violence in
two. I
captivity
just showed you two.
that we know of up until this
Just
point.
showed you two.
You and I both agree on.
I showed you
know
two.
that I agree with that. You know that I've talked about it. You know
No, you
that I've
deny mass
acknowledged
rapes
it,
happened,
and yet
not that rapes happened.
what?
You deny that mass rapes happened, not that rapes
Yes.
happened. Listen to my words.
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I do
good.
deny
Well, there
it
you go.
Because there is no evidence. And
I just
for the
showed you
record,
two.
The clips that you used, ironically
Actually, I
enough,
showed
the
you
reason why I
three.
say it's out of context is because at that point, I personally took a position where I said very carefully and very deliberately that mass rapes that are directed by Hamas did not happen. There was no evidence for this whatsoever.
4 survivors told authorities they were sexually assaulted on October 7th. Report. First-hand account of such crimes have been rare, as most
And
victims
not
were
only-
killed. Hassan. Report
Do you
follows
feel-
earlier
wait,
testimony from a
wait.
man
Okay.
who said he was raped by terrorists at the Nova Festival. 4 people have told authorities that they were sexually assaulted by terrorists on October 7th. Channel 12 reports.
Adding to the growing
On
body of
Thursday, adding to the
evidence of
growing body
systematic
of evidence
sexual
of the systemic
assaults.
sexual assault committed by Hamas.
Oh,
Unlike
goddamn.
most of the previous evidence of sexual assault on October 7th, which was largely based on eyewitness testimony, the Channel 12 report is notable because it is based on firsthand accounts of victims. You can yawn all you want. Firsthand testimony of such
yawning.
crimes has been rare because the victims have been killed. Killed, dipshit.
Okay, Ethan,
They
do you
fucking
think
kill
when
them.
someone-
According to
According to the report, 4 individuals approached the welfare ministry with their accounts of what happened during the onslaught, which also saw some 1,200 people killed and 250 people kidnapped. That's a lot of people. I'm not saying all of those got raped. That's still, look, those guys still probably getting raped and tortured if they're still in captivity. Those guys were insta killed or raped then killed or whatever, you know what I mean? But they're dead. They're done. They were not ever going to be able to speak. Ever. They're dead. These guys can speak. But out of all these, how many do we have? How many actually have come out to speak? Come on. Let's be real. Let's be absolutely real here, Hasan.
the report, 4 individuals approached the
Do you think
welfare
when
minister
someone is
with their
murdered,
account.
that there is
Sorry,
no
Hassan.
way to actually
gonna
examine?
say the same
Talk
thing, too.
about
Do you
being
think that when-
gross.
Do you
Listen to
think
these
that
victims.
when someone is murdered, there's no way to do forensics evidence to
Bro,
actually
you know
conclude,
the fucking answer to that.
actually conclude
because
that
you
person
know
was
that
sexually
Jews,
assaulted?
you know that the religious organization that is first responders that you cited has a policy of burying the bodies to avoid disgracing them. That's
Ethan, you
what
just
happened.
said dozens of victims came out in that
I'm
article,
reading
and I
you.
don't know
What are
where
you
that article
doing,
is
bro?
from.
I'm
You said
showing you the
dozens of
evidence
victims
that
came
you're
out
wrong
in that
right
article.
now. According to the report, 4 individuals approached the welfare ministry with their accounts of what happened to them during the Hamas onslaught, which saw blah, 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 12, sorry, not blah, 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 but 1,200 people killed and 250 kidnapped. The report followed a separate Channel 12 story on Wednesday that provided firsthand testimony from a man who said he was raped by terrorists at the Supernova, where hundreds of people were killed. Are these all lying? There are 5 people here. There's 3 that approached the ministry
And one that
and one
approached Channel.
man who said he was raped. Are these all liars?
I don't know. I don't think they are. I have
Okay,
no
so then what
reason
the
to believe
fuck
that
is
they
your
are. But
point?
from everything that I have seen, from everything that I've read on this, and I have read extensively on this, as far as forensic examination has been concluded, there is no evidence, no hard evidence of sexual assault. And I will give you a
just
clip
read
from a Haaretz article
This is so
that was
exhausting,
posted
bro.
by Lisa
Here comes the Haaretz article.
Rozovsky.
I
Wait,
just
why
read
are
you
you
firsthand
discounting-
testimony
I'm
of
using-
4 people. What are you doing? You're saying that you're not believing the victims.
Ethan,
You're asking
it's
for
not that I'm
pics or
not-
it didn't happen.
It's not that I'm not believing
Where
the
did- you
victims.
said,
I'm
where's their
saying that
bodies?
Since,
Pics or it didn't
since
happen?
What you have mentioned, since
You're
the thing
saying
that
pics
you
or it
mentioned,
didn't happen,
okay?
right?
Since the article that you mentioned came out, there have been further prosecutions on this. Why have they not led to any real prosecution?
They're dead. They're
No,
fucking
that's not
dead, you moron. What do you mean?
first-hand testimony.
Yeah,
in
what do you
regard.
fucking mean, bro?
All the fucking Hamas operatives in Israel.
I killed them?
What? What are you?
Why are you saying
okay?
you killed them?
I said they. Why the fuck would I say you killed them? That's insanely stupid. Are you okay? Hallucinating. Are you crashing out? Go ahead.
Maybe I misheard you. I'm pretty sure you said you killed them.
Sometimes when you're under stress, you can mishear things, but that's okay. I understand.
I might be my mistake. I have you on much lower volume because my volume is very low.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. There's a misunderstanding.
That's part of the reason why I do ask over and over again what you're saying.
That's fine. I understand. I want people to hear what we're saying, so that's totally fair.
If you're saying,
are you done, or you want to keep going?
Gaslighting you, just clip it and send it to me, chat. It's that simple. Okay. And if you probably said it by mistake, even if you did, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, we done with this one?
Okay. No, we're not done with this at all.
Go ahead.
Because
I just read 4 first.
Because the question I have for you, is very simple. Okay.
Oh, if I said you, I misspoke. That's my bad. By the way, I may have actually said you.
Fine. It's fine.
I apologize.
You misspoke.
I didn't
I
mean
don't
that.
care.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
I just want to make sure.
Let's get back to the actual main point of contention here.
The liars. Pixar didn't
There
happen.
have been no rape allegations filed in the October 7 attacks. Not one. Okay? And this is from
So what?
Ynet, speaking to Moran Gatz, who I posted about earlier. Moran Gatz is the Southern District Prosecutor's Office in Israel. Okay? She was a member of the Team 7110, responsible for cases involving captured Palestinians in connection with the October 7th attacks. On investigations related to sexual violence, she says, in the end, we don't have any complainants. What was presented in the media compared to what will eventually come together will be entirely different, either because the victims were murdered, okay, this is what they're saying, or because women who were raped aren't willing to expose it. That she excludes here another explanation, says Dropsite News, that no rapes occurred. We approached women's rights organizations and asked for cooperation. They told us that no one had approached them. There were parents who reached out to organizations asking what to do if something happened to their daughter, but they didn't reveal the abuse. So the question I have for you is this, okay? The question I have for you is this. What am I supposed to do in the situation when there are no victims that have come forward?
4 victims just gave first-hand testimony. I read it to you.
Died, but there's no forensic examination.
Pixar didn't
there has
happen.
been no justice for these victims in
Pixar didn't
Israel
happen.
on October 7 due to the fact that the government completely ruined. Okay. The government completely ruined any sort of forensic examination that could have taken place. There is no way to actually bring justice to these victims. Your assessment on this is so off base.
Hasan, are you listening?
You think
4 first-hand victims. I just read it to you.
Okay, but
you know what?
You're
right. You know what, Hasan? You're right. Let's err on the side of these victims lying.
Then why are
Let's err on the
have
side.
they
No,
not?
you're totally right. This is the progressive way. Let's err on the side of these people lying instead of believing them. Let's do that. And yeah, they're all
I'm
lying.
not saying that they're lying. I'm telling
you are.
My confusion on this comes from the fact that
it's not confusing. It's obvious. Most of this shit happened. Were killed, and it's a religious part of this first responding unit that they bury the bodies immediately to avoid humiliating them. It's all explainable.
What?
Yes. If you don't know that, then you are like woefully misinformed. Which just
dude, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Oh, it doesn't matter. There has to be a forensic examination.
Pixar didn't happen. They bury the body.
No, not Pixar. It didn't happen. You don't think that the victims deserve justice? What's wrong with you? You don't think these victims deserve justice? Why did Israel refuse an outside investigative committee?
How do you explain these 4 accusers?
Under normal circumstances,
how do you explain these 4 accusers?
Or a third party,
how do you explain these 4
and
accusers?
conduct an investigation.
How do you explain the 4 accusers?
I don't know.
Okay, very good.
How do you explain
well,
the
let's err on the side of them
those
lying.
4 accusers? My information is more relevant because it's new. It's newer. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't.
I guess we're at an impasse here. I mean, listen, Hasan.
Yeah, just move on from the topic.
That I don't
full
know
circles
about.
again.
When the prosecutor, do you think the Israeli Southern District prosecutor actually did not examine the testimony given by these victims?
If you don't know what happened in the 4 accusers, why are you speaking so confidently?
Because I'm speaking
you're a liar.
about
you're a propagandist, and you fucking hate Israelis. Can we move on, please?
What?
This is obviously at an impasse.
No.
Oh my God! I'm just trying to consider the audience. Everybody wants something else. I'm telling you, dude. This is exhausting.
You have claimed falsely that I do not recognize the testimony of a sexual assault that took place in captivity.
Yes.
That was false.
Yep,
Do you
it was
admit
false.
that?
Yep, she lied. It was false, etc.
No. It's a falsehood that you claim that I don't recognize that. Do you admit that?
Yes, 100%. Can we move on?
Wait, so you're admitting that you falsely smeared me as someone who is denying a verifiable claim of rape from a first-hand account, and it's not from October 7th.
Okay, yes, I'm smearing you. Can we move on, please?
He does that every time because he's like, "Fuck it, let's move on."
Okay,
I get it.
Okay, very good.
And he's gonna
Explain this tweet to me? This is your tweet, and I'd like you to summarize it for me. You said, go ahead. You can read it for me and explain the picture.
I can't. I don't know where it is.
So you can't see it?
Oh.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Okay. Very good. I guess what's the is just a little delay for him, Dan? Or?
No. I can see it. Bro really said my lived experience in Israel proper. Great.
What's the picture?
This is zone of interest. You're familiar? Yes.
Explain for the audience what this picture entails.
This is Zone of Interest, which is a Oscar award-winning movie depicting the banality of evil during a literal Holocaust taking place, the monotony of the day-to-day existence, the beautiful garden.
And your implication is what?
Rudolf Hess and his family put together.
And your implication
in the backdrop, you can see there is
what?
a concentration. There's a concentration camp, Auschwitz.
Your implication
there's
to
a train
me
that
is what?
Most likely inferred to be sending.
This
Jews
is the
into
clip you're
concentration
responding
camp.
to. Hold on. Like it's completely based on my. I actually don't know where it is, but I said we know what it was. I just said Israel proper, right? I said my lived experience in Israel proper.
Can you
explain
play the clip? Play the clip.
It's 2 minutes, and I don't know where this happens. If somebody can find out.
No, play the clip. Play the full thing. We have time. I'm not going nowhere.
Well, let me see. Yeah, I mean, I want to watch it too. It's just.
I know you do.
Let's see here. I don't. Here, I'll just play it. Oh, this
Because
is a clip from the
I know you do.
Content Cop. How's that working out? You think Ian's happy he made that video?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't talked to him about it.
I mean, he put out a really big video. I mean, I would be stoked.
I don't know why you're asking me about what iDubbbz is thinking, but I mean, I assume. I mean, it performed pretty well. I think it doubled your video. So
yeah, I mean,
it's not that bad.
If anything, I think it just means that more people are interested than me than you.
Yeah, no, definitely. I believe that for sure.
Very good.
I think a lot of people. I think a lot of people, some falsely and some for decent reasons, wants to.
Do you want to look at the like ratio?
Someone put you down a peg. It's probably the reason why there's a lot of people watching this conversation as well.
Do you want to watch the the like ratio on this? Damn.
The like ratio on this.
That's correct, my friend. Here it is.
Wait, what? Ethan, play the video. This is also been reported even by your favorite. What is it? Nicholas Eat Oreos.
My favorite.
To be false.
Okay. Here.
The dislike
let's
metric
watch
is not
it.
correct.
Let's just watch it.
Why am I arguing on behalf of Ian's the video's performance? I don't give a fuck. Come on, play the video, dude. Come on, Jesus Christ. Play the fucking clip.
I mean, it is ironic that he came and did this whole show of doing it with you, and it like just completely humiliated him. I think that's kind of funny and interesting, but I'll play the clip.
Not on Leftovers. He's now talking about it on his podcast.
What I want to do is show you. Are you not? Hold on, I'm sorry. His entire creator clash is in ruin. The event is going to be fucking absolutely canceled. He's probably not even able to reimburse most of the fighters for the time they trained. How is that not a train wreck?
Ethan,
I'm just saying.
I am not iDubbbz. I don't care about your petty vendetta against iDubbbz. Play the
You were
fucking
in the video.
clip.
Guys, how I see Israel. Because
You
you
were
don't
in the
see
video.
that when you listen to Hasan and you hear all these fucking
Yes, you ruined a charity event. I hope you're proud.
Oh my god.
Ian ruined his own charity event. What are you talking about, Hasan? He put out the video. He literally didn't have to put out a fucking video at all. And nothing would have happened to his creator clash. But he put out the video, and he ruined his own fucking event. Everybody's leaving. What are you talking? That was the stupidest thing I've ever heard. That is dumb.
Bro, you have no idea
Dumb.
what you're talking about.
He's now talking
I'm
about
talking
it on
about
his podcast.
Israel proper.
What I want to do is show.
And you're showing headlines about Gaza. I literally say in this clip that it's not has nothing to do with the conditions of Gaza and the conditions of the West Bank, which I consider to be like apartheid. Like it's completely based on my lived experience of 5 years living in Israel.
And he was saying he I think he's trying to say it was like he was making that
You have no idea. How do you have the confidence?
like a correlation to the Holocaust between Israel, like it is the new Germany.
To make this video. Again, I don't know where it is, dude. The phrase.
Show you guys how I see Israel, because you don't see that when you listen to Hasan.
Israel blocks, and he shows these headlines. Israel again blocks Gaza aid. Again, I'm not talking about Gaza, which I say clearly in this clip, but go on.
And you hear all these fucking mega lefties talking.
Israeli authorities block healthcare to Gaza. Again, I'm not. Do you think that I'm talking about walking around Gaza? When I say how great multicultural it is,
We
did
never
you
defended
think that?
how Israel attacked Gaza since October 7th. Not even
Shield your eyes.
We never
I think that's the-
co-signed what they did.
Is that not the point he's making, though?
It already happened. I said it. Oh. No, okay. Well, anyway, I said the phrase I said is that my experience in Israel proper.
What happened after that? When AB chimed in, I wonder. Anyway, listen.
Who knows? I mean, you like to make inferences based on.
I'm just asking. I don't know.
You know what's so funny? You know what's funny?
crazy,
It's all
'cause
on the
it felt like
audio.
it was
Go
both
listen
AB
to it,
and
dipshit.
Olivia
It's on the
that
audio.
were-
You don't know what you're talking about. You're a pathological liar. You are a propagandist. It's on the audio. You can go listen to it if you gave
both
a fuck.
AB and Olivia were chiming in. I don't know why we buttoned it. I'm just asking. You know, it's fine. It's not that big of a
What
deal.
are you implying
All
here?
right.
What are you implying with this photo?
What photo? Oh, with the photo.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's begin.
Let's begin. He has a long explanation for this one.
Bro, just explain what you're
By
trying to
your own
say.
admission, there is a genocide that is taking place in the Gaza Strip. By your own admission, there is also an apartheid structure both in the West Bank, but I don't think you believe that there's an apartheid happening within Israel proper by your own terms.
I don't think it's. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you feel as though Israel is somehow inseparable from both of these actions?
No, but obviously the conditions are different in Israel proper versus the West Bank versus Gaza. Like
you
West,
feel
I mean,
like
the
you
West
going
Bank
to
has
Israel
checkpoints. It has
amidst
like different areas of zones of interest. People don't have freedom of movement. So obviously that's more apartheid-like than the main body of Israel.
Yeah. Don't you feel like you going to Israel proper would actually resemble someone going to, someone going near Auschwitz and being like, well, it's actually beautiful there. It's
Not at all.
that big of a deal.
No.
It's multicultural. Oh, you don't see the comparison.
Well, I mean,
Well,
where
Jonathan
Israel?
Glazer,
You
who
mean
made
intelligence?
That's like I told you he was gonna come that have that
Jonathan
exact
Glazer,
kind of
who
opinion or whatever.
made This Oscar-winning movie does see the comparison.
So hold on, your
He
criticism.
said as much.
You're
in
saying
his Oscar
all I
award,
said was my
winning
lived
speech.
experience in Israel proper. Is the problem that Israel proper? That sounds racist or something?
No, I think you're trying to present Israel as a beautiful multicultural land when it is directly doing a genocide across the border boundary.
I'm sure anybody could have gone to Germany in the 1940s while all this stuff was going on and people were being shipped to concentration camps and said, wow, look at the beautiful landscapes and the food of the Germany landscape. You don't have to just point out the concentration camps. Yes, there's shit going on, but at the same time, there's beauty and death, man. Honestly, shit. There's all sorts of crazy shit going on. All right, so
boundary, okay.
Yeah. So your correlation is whatever, but like he's also saying like, well, I don't. Me going to Israel and saying Israel is fucking beautiful, and you responding with that as if the window is the same. It's not. It's at least not in Ethan's eyes, and I don't know if there's concentration camps going on over there in Gaza or not. I know there's, they're limited electricity and it sucks over there, with the Palestinians. It does suck for them. You know what I mean? They're not all fucking Hamas and shit. So there's people there that are just getting fucked. But it's not, well, it is. It's kind of a little bit Holocausty, but you know what I mean? The window you're looking through is wild.
A distinction.
On a good day.
Yeah, I make a distinction for sure.
You can't.
I lived there for 5 years in Tel Aviv.
From the crimes that is happening 6 miles away, Ethan. That's my point. So
6 miles from where I live in Tel Aviv? 6 miles from what?
I don't know how many miles away it is from.
It's a lot further than 6 miles. What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know how many miles away it is. That's not the point. It's close enough that you can see it. If you go to Sderot, you can watch it.
The point you're making is that everybody living in Israel is living next to a concentration camp.
Yes.
So I said, bro really said my lived experience in Israel proper, and you're saying that I am a Nazi officer living casually and enjoying life as people are.
No, you're not directly a Nazi officer.
Well, that's what this says.
No, Ethan, you're taking it a little bit too literally. I think the point there with that imagery is not that it's a Nazi officer.
Why did you choose the one with the guy standing in it?
Well, I'm actually interpreting the work of art in the exact same way that Jonathan Glazer, who made this,
yes, I understand this, Hasan. I get that. It's fine. Like that is fine. It's just I don't know if it
have a wonderful
is a one-to-one.
American Jew in Israel.
In response to Ethan's statement.
That's the point, because Israel is a ethno-religious supremacist apartheid state that is currently doing a genocide. It is the entire underlying principle of why this nation state was founded. That's what it was founded on. It was founded on exterminationist principles of the indigenous Palestinians, which you seemingly agree to. So yes, if you actually think Israel is doing a genocide, then it comes across as rather odd that you would go to Israel.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab me a Coke. Except mine's further away. Oh! Why? I don't know. You can look at. There's a poll. Go check it out. He's a family guy. Oh, baby.
Multifaceted, and how wonderful Israel is.
I mean, yeah,
it would be exactly like someone saying, "Oh, you don't understand. I'm German. I am going to Poland. I'm going to go to Warsaw. I'm going to go to Auschwitz.
It's not the same at all, dude.
How wonderful Auschwitz looks like.
But Auschwitz can look beautiful. Not all of it is a concentration camp as far as I know.
Palestinians, I worked with them. I took the bus with them. I walked around the streets with them. I went to the restaurants. They worked with me in my businesses. It's not what people expect. That's my point. You don't see.
Yeah, that would be lying. That would be lying to your audience about the actual totality of Israel. You want to talk about my totality of anti-Semitism inferred off of like hyper specific.
I'm just trying to find a good stopping point, Chad.
In your mind, talk about the totality of a country that you recognize is doing genocide. You think it's appropriate?
But the window is not the same.
Show with me, and you consider me your friend, and you knew that I was apparently a Nazi officer that whole time.
What?
I said you were considering me a friend. You did a show with me. You knew I lived in Israel that whole time. I'm surprised you were willing to work with a Nazi officer.
I also have interviewed members of the Knesset, as a matter of fact, like Ofer Kassev. I have interviewed Israelis from the anti-Zionist youth movement Mezarvot, Israeli members. Israeli Jewish citizens that have refused service, refused NICS. I don't have an issue with people that have lived in Israel. Some of the reason why I know the total and utter depravity of the inception of Israel comes from Exeter University's very own Ilan Pappé. His writings are what guide me. Of course, I don't have an issue with people that have lived in Israel and no longer live in Israel, or even still live in Israel, as a matter of fact. As long as they are anti-Zionist, because I care about Zionism as an ideology. I do not care about Jewish people or Israeli people. These are not a part of my consideration, because I believe in the best of people. I believe that people, regardless of the circumstances that they've been presented with, can see right from wrong.
Okay, very good.
And I thought foolishly that you were one of these people.
Very good.
I foolishly thought you could also see right from wrong. But it's obvious to me that you...
Why do I have to do this? Okay. He is touted, this man right here to the right of my face, as called some fucking kid terrorist dude who kills people and takes over ships and shit. Monkey D. Luffy, which is a hero of an anime. What in the hell do you mean you're good and just and all this other shit when you're outright just backing terrorist organizations and people and making them feel and seem cool and telling impressionable people in your audience that they're cool? That's not okay. That's not like you being good. You know what's being good? Like when I had those younger kids in my chat and fucking in the here whatever YouTube, they were always like, "Oh," I'm like, "Don't come watch me. This is not meant for you. This is not your place. This is not a place for you." That's a better thing to do. You know what I mean? Not fucking, "Oh yeah, be a bad person now and continue to push bad behavior onto young generations." No. You're supposed to fucking teach and actually be a model, a role model, man. You are not, this man is not a role model. I'm more of a role model, and I am terrible. I drink, I smoke, and I cuss all day. I sleep late. I'm fucking eat shit food. Bad example. So don't look up to me. This guy's even worse, though. And he looks better than me. God. Probably should be. I don't know if he's healthy or not. I can't speak for what he lives his life like, but still, you're definitely not a good person, Hasan. Not at all.
Used what is going on for the past 16 months of horrific
do you want me to
mass
respond?
bombing and starvation.
Hassan, you gotta stop. You gotta stop with the gish galloping. I know.
Gish galloping.
You're righteous and I'm evil.
I'm explaining to you my position.
Let me respond. I agree with you. I think that my characterization of it as a utopia, like in that moment, was distasteful, and I wish that I had said that differently. And I see that it came off bad. It came off bad, and I was wrong on that one. I totally agree. Watching that clip back, I'm regretful about how I spoke about it. So I agree with you.
Okay, that's fair. See, this is. I wish you were this open-minded for the past 16 months, Ethan. Because I feel like a lot of the conversations that have taken place...
my problem is not with your philosophy on Palestine. My problem is with your community and the harassment you've leveled against me and my family.
People make inferences off of what you say. They do not know what's in your heart. Okay? And this is something
I think this is a good time as any a good of a fucking time as any to call it. And we'll continue on Monday, guys. Oh, fuck. I didn't keep track of where I was. I guess I'll have to come back and look. How unfortunate. How unfortunate. Man, oh man. But guys, yep. That's it. I hope you enjoyed that fucking shit show. Well, I'll decide on either continuing it on Monday if you guys really want me to. Maybe I'll make a poll or something. Or not. Whatever. It might be already too late on Monday. Like dry, old content kind of, you know? But we'll see. We'll see what you guys want. But yeah, guys. Leave a like, subscribe, and share this with everybody you know, even the people that you don't. I've been BentleyDeuce. I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Be sure to check out the channel. There's so much more to see here. Gaming, music, commentary, reactions, and so much more. And speaking of all that, check the links below. There's our album there. You can add it to your playlist on Spotify, Pandora, wherever you listen to music. It's available there. You can also find links for the tipping pages where I accept tips, and also merchandise where you can get Deuced out in the Deucey Threads merch. So yeah, guys, check that out. Check that out. But yes, guys, once again, I've been BentleyDeuce. Have yourselves a wonderful time. I gotta get to work. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'm out. Bye.